Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Ace Attorney. We are on the second case now, Spirit of Justice. We're gonna be doing this one now, the magical turnabout. And looks like we're gonna get to play as Apollo in this one. Let's do it. Wonder what the murder is gonna be about this one. Magical turnabout.
Behold my might!
Shame on you, Mr. Rias!
No!
Using magic for evil!
That was the Grammary theme that was actually playing during that. But was that supposed to be a parody of The Wizard of Oz? Penrose Theater. Or stage. Okay. And that's how the evil magician Mr. Roos was defeated. Ah! See you for Act 2, everybody. Brava, brava, Trucy. Wow, Apollo, wasn't that a great trick? You bet. I've never seen such a great magic act. So yeah, we are playing as Apollo in this case. Did you know that even, that they even featured Trucy's show on TV this morning? Penrose Theater. A well-known gateway to success for entertainers. It's here at this famous theater that we'll finally get to see Trucy in Grammary Land. So yeah, I think that's supposed to be a parody of The Wizard of Oz. The long-awaited revival, the magic of true Grammary. Wow, that explains why there's a TV crew here to cover the show. This is the perfect opportunity to promote the Write Anything Agency too. After all, people look up things they see on TV, right? But wouldn't they be looking up the talent part and not the law part of our agency? Mia, you're right. We'd get nothing but requests from Trucy's fans, wouldn't we? Oh well, guess we'll just have to make it the old-fashioned way. My name is Apollo Justice. I'm a rookie lawyer with only about 2 years of experience under my belt. We're here to see Trucy's magic show. She's a fellow member of our agency. We came on behalf of our boss, Mr. Wright, who's away on a trip. So yeah, so we're back in the country where Ace Attorney takes place, but basically the country where Ace Attorney takes place, I don't think it's ever named. There's references to both Japan and America, in Ace Attorney, so it's like a combination of both America and Japan. But basically we're in the, Apollo's home country again, or Phoenix's home country. But yeah, being in Karain, where Phoenix was, that was crazy with those trials. Oh, and did you hear, Apollo? Even though it's only her debut, her shows are completely sold out. What? Really? That's amazing. Viola, A Star is Born. Who knows how far she'll go? At this rate, nothing in the world can stop us. Wahahaha. You do realize this had nothing to do with you, right? This is Athena Sykes. She's another member of our agency. She may not look it, but at just 19 years old, she's a lawyer as well. What do you mean, she may not look it? Of course I look the part. Care to explain how exactly? Oh, come on, have a heart. Stop treating me like a child. That gadget around Athena's neck that spoke just now, that's Widget. Widget helps Athena out for a special field of expertise, and analytical psychology. He also has a habit of blurting out whatever Athena's really thinking. Yeah, this little guy can be a little unruly at times. Hey, upgrade me already? Your attention, please. The show will restart after a 20-minute intermission. We ask that you please be back in your seats before the next act. Thank you. Hey, why don't we go say hi to Trucy in her dressing room during the break? Oh yes, let's go see the big star. I'm so nervous. What should I say to her? Whatever you usually say to her at the office every day. Oh, 2 rabbits there too. And that rabbit reminds me so much, that black rabbit reminds me from, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Also, Penrose Theater dressing room. So this is Trucy's dressing room. Looks like she's busy over there with someone. Could you sign this, please, ma'am? Sure thing. Just the one sheet in this clipboard, right? A fan asking for Trucy's autograph, maybe. I don't think so. It looks like some kind of contract. Thank you very much. I'll get this to the producer right away. Great, thanks. Oh, Holly, Athena, you came. Of course, congratulations on your big debut. Thanks. So this is Trucy's theme that's playing. Who was that just now, by the way? Somebody from Take-Two TV. They want to turn my magic show into a TV special. Well, just don't tell Rockstar about this, or Take-Two Interactive, because they'll sue you, because literally Take-Two Interactive sues anything with Take-Two in it. They even sued the game It Takes Two. They're planning to broadcast it nationwide. Can you imagine? Wow, you really are a big star. Hey, can I get your autograph later, Trucy? Sure, my signature's in high demand today. Would you like one too, Polly? Yeah, actually, I would. Oops, looks like I ran out of flyers, so I'll have to sign your forehead instead. Hey, knock it off. Look, just forget about the autograph. This is Trucy Wright. She's a magician and Mr. Wright's adopted daughter. She's becoming quite renowned in the magic world these days for her impressive skills. A lot of people get this wrong, but Apollo's actual job is being my magic assistant. No, you're the one who gets it wrong. Oh, think you can do the trick you always do at the office for me, Trucy? Okay. Behold, the wondrous magic that can make anything disappear. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! My magic panties are an extra-dimensional galaxy. And, here's the thing is, magicians are some of the most talented people in the world. They are very quick with their hands. And the trick is magicians are just so quick with their hands that they can actually hide things, but it makes it seem like it disappeared. But in reality, they just move their hands so quickly that they manage to hide things. That's why, like magicians, they manage to pickpocket people so quickly. And when they pickpocket people, notice that they're kind of distracting them. They're talking to them so they don't notice, but they're just so quick with that. Brava, Trucy, brava. Okay, but why do you always have to make my attorney's badge disappear? Well, that's because out of everyone at the Wright Editing Agency, you're the one I get the best reaction out of. That doesn't make my poor badge feel any better. The show. Thanks again for inviting us, Trucy. Thank you for coming. Your show sure packs a wallop. I nearly fell out of my seat when the dragon showed up. And when it attacked you, woo! I was terrified, even though I knew it was all just a part of the show. That's good, because that trick is the crown and glory of Act 1. I'm really glad you're enjoying the show. I heard your shows are completely sold out, Trucy. They say your friends were all over the tickets the instant they became available. Like hungry wolves going after their prey. Sounds like you've made a loyal pack of followers for yourself already, Trucy. But you two are the only ones who got a special VIP invitation from me. Today's just a dress rehearsal for the performers, staff, family, and friends. A general probe, huh? That's what they, call it in Germany. The real show isn't until the day after tomorrow. By the way, are you going to finally do your magic panties trick on stage after the break? Sorry to disappoint anyone who came just to see my magic panties. Well, my next trick is completely new. I'm debuting it today. Oh, a new trick, huh? Are you gonna chop Apollo up into little lawyer bits? Funny, I don't recall ever agreeing to anything like that. Well, it does sound like a good idea. Today's trick is a totally new troupe, Gramarye original. The entire future of our troupe is riding on the success of this special new trick. How so? Special new trick. This show is really important to me. It isn't like any of the other shows I've done. As the rightful heir to the true grammary repertoire of magic, this show is my first chance to unveil the tricks I've inherited. Troop grammary, huh? Yeah, I have a poster of them hanging right over there. It feels like it's been ages since I've seen a picture of them, so yeah, the grammary theme that's playing. And there's Trucy's mother, there's Zach Grammary. I don't recognize the guy in the green hat. That guy's new. Group Grammary was a group of magicians who dominated the magic world in their day. Trucy is the sole heir to the troup's entire repertoire of stage magic. Huh? Who's this guy in green and purple on the left here? Oh, that's the great Mr. Roos, the other magician in today's show. He used to belong to Troupe Grammary too, a long time ago. Hey, so tell us more about this special magic you're going to reveal today. It's a secret Troupe Grammary trick, left behind by my late granddaddy, Magnifi Grammary. It's never been performed before, so this is the first time it'll be seen by the public. The grand unveiling, huh? No wonder she's been working so hard. Well, I better get going. Huh? Where to? To practice my act, of course. The show's only a few days away. You're really pushing yourself. Didn't you practice until late last night, too? Yup, because everything's gonna be just right. Trucy inherited all of Troupe Grammary's magic tricks from her father when he died. And the troupe's entire legacy is now resting on her shoulders. No wonder she's feeling the pressure. It looks like everything's going well today, though. I mean, that last trick was perfect. Grace under pressure, that's me. After all, a true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. That's a true Grammary creed. Hard to believe you've accomplished so much even though you're still in high school. Heh, but to tell you the truth, I'm actually pretty nervous. Who wouldn't be? Oh, I bet this would be do the trick. You'll be fine, Trucy. If anybody can do it, you can. Polly, that was just the boost I needed. Thanks. Apollo, fine sure has a way of really hitting you right in the heart and in the ears. Enough ragging on my voice already. Trucy. Oh, hi, Bonny. It's almost time for the second act. Yeah, so she is on the cover of this case. Oh, okay, thanks. Well, Apollo Fina, enjoy the rest of the show. Break a leg, Trucy. Thanks, I will. I hope her new trick goes well. Hey, this is Trucy we're talking about. She'll be fine. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. Huh? Performing magic is like walking a tightrope. There's always an element of danger. One little mistake can even cost your life, you know. I wonder if she'll make it across today. And what do you mean by that exactly? Heh, oh, nothing. Now, if you'll excuse me. She's gone. What was that all about? Judging by what she said, I'm going to guess she's probably a magician too. Come on, Apollo. We gotta get back to our seats now or we'll be late. Ow. Hey, stop pulling. Okay, let's see. Guess it's time to move back to the stage. April 27, Penrose Theater. Stage. Hurry up, Apollo, it's about to start. I want to see what Trucy's next trick is. You're really, wound up today, aren't you? Why don't you take your seat and try to relax? Whoa, look, there's a TV reporter over there. And the soundtrack in these games are always so great. With a TV camera and everything. Oh yeah, baby. Athena, sit down. You're blocking people's view. Yeah, I feel like I'm babysitting here. When you see the yellow dialogue, that's Widget, that's the robot talking, so I'm trying to sound like a robot. Hello everyone, I'm reporting from the beautiful Penrose Theater, where the public performance of Trucy in Grammarly Land begins in just 2 short days. But today, they're very kindly agreed to give us a sneak preview. Isn't this exciting? Apollo, do you think I was on TV just now? How should I know? But if you were disgracing our entire agency, that's for sure. Hey, what the heck's that supposed to mean? Oh, here it comes.
Now, give up your dastardly ways! Come now, Mr. Hat. Offer the girl's life up to Mr. Rias and bring him back to life. What?
Just when and how did she make the switch?
You won't be reviving anyone today.
And there was probably somebody in the casket, wasn't there? Wow, that was amazing. I have no idea how she escaped that coffin. I'm glad Trucy's escape trick went off without a hitch. And when I opened the coffin, like this, inside... Mr. Roos? Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that there was gonna be somebody in the coffin. But how? I wonder what's going on. He's not getting up. Eek! Trucy. What just happened? Whoa, man, an accident. Is, like, that guy dead? Wait, that's not part of the act? Attention, please. For your own safety, we ask that everyone please evacuate the building. What's going on? Is Trucy okay? Outside, everyone. Evacuate immediately, please. Whoa, hey. Stop grabbing at me. Trucy! Yeah, I called it. I knew there was gonna be a body in the casket. April 27, Penrose Theater. They kicked us out. Hey, what gives? Will somebody please tell us what's going on? Poor Trucy. I hope she's okay. Hey, here comes that staff member from before. Your attention, please. We regret to inform you that today's show has been cancelled. What? But I was looking forward to the rest of it. We are very sorry, but the theater is on lockdown pending police investigation. Excuse me, but is it because of the accident? That man in the coffin, is he... well, we're still trying to figure things out, sir. But I can tell you that Miss Wright is fine. She wasn't injured, so please don't worry. Thank goodness she's okay. Hey, you there. Oh, who's this guy? What the heck's going on? They wouldn't even let me in. Me, for crying out loud. I'm gonna try to sound like what I think this guy's gonna sound like. Oh, Mr. Retinz, there was an accident during the show. An accident? Great, just great. That's all I need right now. Do you have any idea how much money we've sinking into this program? And you are? The man behind the scenes, that's who. This is a fine kettle of fish, let me tell you. Spinning all this is gonna be a real pain in my, posterior, believe you me. Spinning? As in covering it up? Look, I gotta get inside. Seriously, can't a guy catch a break around here? I'm always trying to do accents for these characters, what I think they would sound like. Well, there he goes. Why don't we go back to the office for now? I'm sure Trucy will call us once things have settled down. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, let's go back to the office. April 27. Write anything. Agency. Okay, phone's ringing. It's no use. I can't get a hold of Mr. Wright. I wonder if something happened to him in Karain. Yeah, he's in the middle of that trial, probably. Maybe he got caught up in some kind of trouble again, as always. Yeah, trouble's drawn to him like iron fillings to a magnet. Hey, Apollo. Speaking of Karain, they're showing something about it on TV right now. There has been some surprising news coming out of the Kingdom of Karain. The country recently saw defense attorney Phoenix Wright win a not guilty verdict. The first verdict of its kind in 23 years. Mr. Wright won a trial in Karain? Lawyers are said to be highly disrespected in the Kingdom of Karain. So Mr. Wright's win was an upset victory amidst entrenched hostility. Wow, did you hear that? The first time in 23 years. Yeah, but what was he doing in court there in the first place? I thought he just went there for a visit. So he was in some kind of trouble, just like we thought. Next, an update on the unfortunate accident that occurred at the Penrose Theater. Hey, now they're talking about the accident Trucy's show. Famed magician, the great Mr. Roos, was skewered with a sword and died on the spot. Oh no, so he really is dead. And now, here's the footage of that deadly moment. And then the thing fell. And also, in real life, magicians, whenever they use swords, they don't use real swords. It looks like it's real swords, but most of the time it's not, and it's just to prevent accidents like this from happening. Mr. Roos's body isn't visible in this footage, but these are still very shocking images. The magician, Trucy Wright, is reportedly still only a high school student. Could it be that this unfortunate accident happened due to a lack of proper training? Did the young magician have enough experience, preparation, and knowledge? Some might say that Troop Gramarye should be held accountable for this incident. Hey, what kind of biased reporting is this? Yeah, they're making it sound like it's all Trucy's fault. Oh, we've just received more breaking news. Oh my. The young magician in question, Trucy Wright, is now under arrest on the charge of involuntary manslaughter. Oh. Ooh, okay, so this is the first time in a Phoenix Wright game, or an Ace Attorney game, that I've seen somebody get charged with manslaughter instead of murder. For people that don't know what the difference is, the difference between manslaughter and murder is basically a planned killing. So murder means that you have to plan to kill somebody. Manslaughter is an unplanned killing. It's a killing that just basically happens. You know, the best example of like a murder, like just as an example, would be like, you know, some like crazy ex-boyfriend, you know, wanting revenge on his ex-girlfriend for breaking up with him, going to her house and killing her. That's like an example of murder because he planned to do it, went over to the house and killed her. That's the most serious charge. Manslaughter is when it's not planned. Like an example of manslaughter would be if like, you know, two guys were in a bar and they were both drunk, they got into a fight, and one of the guys ended up killing the other guy in the fight. It wasn't like a planned killing, but it was still, the guy was still at blame for it. So basically, manslaughter is when somebody kills somebody, but they're not really, it wasn't really a planned thing. And there's basically two forms of manslaughter. There is involuntary manslaughter, and then there's non-voluntary manslaughter. And I learned about these in school. Non-voluntary manslaughter, I think, is the less serious one, and involuntary manslaughter is the more serious one. An example of, like, non-voluntary manslaughter would be, like, I'm trying to think of one. It would probably be, like, you know, somebody asking you to buy them a bunch of drugs, like asking you to buy them like heroin, for example, and they overdosed on heroin and they died. You didn't plan on killing them, you didn't intend to kill them, but because your actions kind of led to their deaths. You got them the heroin, they used it, and they ended up dying from it. So that's an example of non-voluntary manslaughter. An example of like involuntary manslaughter is more like when somebody is like, oh man, I'm trying to think of like an example of like, I mean, I guess this case, like, it would, and then there's also the third charge, which is negligent homicide. There's, and negligent homicide is when you're really reckless and it leads to the death of somebody, but I gotta look up, what is the difference between involuntary manslaughter and negligent homicide? What's the difference? Let's see. Negligent homicide can be distinguished from involuntary manslaughter by its means res requirement. Negligent homicide requires criminal negligence, while manslaughter requires recklessness. Okay, so basically, mens rea is, I understand this now. So, in Latin terms, mens rea is the guilty state of mind, actus reus is the guilty act itself. So, like, negligent homicide. A perfect example of negligent homicide would be if somebody is, like, speeding. They're breaking the law, and then they run somebody over and kill them. They didn't, you know, mean to kill somebody because of their reckless driving. It's negligent homicide. So there was, like, criminal intent there because they were already breaking one law. Involuntary manslaughter would not require, involuntary manslaughter would not have that criminal intent. So there's no intent to basically breaking any kind of laws or anything like that. It's just recklessness. Involuntary manslaughter would be more like it would be more like for example, you're a crane operator, right? And you go on break, and when you go on break, you leave the crane running. And the crane's running, and it ends up hitting like a building or something like that, killing somebody in there. That's more like involuntary manslaughter. So you weren't technically breaking the law, but you were just reckless with your behavior. You didn't turn off the machine beforehand, and so like in this case, it's like she was reckless with her magician act. So I'm just trying to explain the different charges to people so they understand it a little bit. I know Ace Attorney is really unrealistic, but I do really like law. Law I do really like. I learned all the manslaughter charges like years ago when I studied in school. I studied law in school. I don't remember everything, but I'm just always trying to keep my best up with it. So I hope you guys like my little commentary there. But anyways, here. But what? We will keep you updated as the unfortunate takes tale unfolds. Stay tuned. Also, if somebody gets charged with involuntary manslaughter, they're not going to spend, the rest of their life in prison. It's just going to be years. Now, it depends on how serious it is, though. Trucy's under arrest. She can't be. Apollo, we've got to do something. Yeah, let's get down to the detention center right away. But before I forget, I think I'll jot a few things down about the case. I'll just open up the court record with R1. And flip to this bottommost tab here of L1 or R1 to make a few notes. A particular set of circumstances led to her being adopted Mr. Wright, a world-class magician. A bunny-themed assistant who appeared on stage with Trucy. A man somehow connected to the magic show. He showed up at the theater after the incident took place. I can use it like kind of a to-do list. Okay. If I ever get stuck, I can just refer these notes. Go talk with Trucy in the detention center. Notes. So this is new, so this is just in Spirit of Justice, because I don't remember this being in Dual Destinies. The victim's body was discovered in a coffin during Trucy's magic show, thought to be magic-related accident. Let's go to the detention center. You know what I'm really curious about? I'm really curious who the prosecutor is going to be in this case, because Edgeworth would never prosecute Phoenix's adopted daughter. He would never do that. And also Blackquill wouldn't do it either. So I wonder who the prosecutor is going to be. April 27th, Detention Center Visitors Room. Or Trucy. What can we even say to her? Oh, Polly, Athena. Trucy, are you okay? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. We saw the news about the accident on TV. Guess I can't, Houdini my way out of this one. I got arrested and everything. They say I'm the one who caused the accident. But that's not true, right? To be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I have no idea how an accident like that could have happened. The trick went off without a hitch, I'm sure of that much. Still, the police won't listen to me. They've already decided it was all my fault. I'm exhausted after all their questions. Looks like she's been able to hang in there at least. Yeah, she really is one tough cookie. I know you're tired, but can you tell us a little bit about the accident? Yes, of course. Go ahead and ask me anything. I'll be fine. The incident. For starters, can you help us understand what happened? In today's show, there was a dead body in the coffin. Yeah. How did that happen? Was there some kind of accident? I don't really know. The coffin was supposed to be empty when I opened it. But instead, Mr. Roos's body was in there. The thing is, though, is I don't think she even killed Mr. Roos. Mr. Roos's body was probably planted in there. He probably died from something else. That must have been a huge shock for you. And when the dragon set piece fell down at the end, was that an accident too? It must have been. I have no idea how or why that happened either. Nothing went the way it was supposed to. I still can't believe Mr. Roos is actually dead. As tough as she is, this is obviously taking a toll on her. But how did Mr. Roos's body get into the coffin in the first place? Trucy, we need you to tell us the secret of the trick. You know what they say, a magician never reveals her secrets. Well, this is a different scenario, but I guess I should make an exception for this time. But if you ever tell anybody, I'll make you my guinea pig for every single new magic trick from now on. Don't worry, I'm a lawyer, remember? Client confidentiality is part of the job. Magic trick. So let's call this trick Trucy's Great Escape. How did you get out of the coffin? Alright, here goes. I'll reveal the trick just for you two. Prepare yourselves for an exclusive explanation by Magical Girl Trucy Wright. There's a secret trapdoor in the stage that leads down to the understage passage. A trapdoor? So when did you slip down the understage passage? Remember when Mr. Hat was on stage holding a sword next to the coffin? Well, by then, I had already escaped from the coffin and was waiting understage. And while I was down there, I did several things to get ready for the next part. What technique? Okay, so what happened next? Mr. Hat was quickly raised up to the catwalk by wire. There's a cushion up there that acts as a shock absorber when Mr. Hat hits it. Meanwhile, I pop back up onto the stage through a different trapdoor. And voila, the switch is complete. A diagram depicting the stage where the show is performed in the understage passage. I had no idea all that was happening. I was convinced you were still in the coffin. That's what professional magicians do. Well, I'm the professional here. They make their audience see something that isn't really there. In other words, you make us see illusions, right? We call it misdirection. While we keep you busy delivering one thing, we're busy making something else happen. What we say is there really isn't, and what we say isn't there actually is. I get it. It's kind of like a magical bluff. But there's no escaping the fact that the victim's body was actually in the coffin. It wasn't empty like it was supposed to be. Yeah, that's the part I don't understand. The last thing in the world, I expected to see in there was Mr. Roos. Could he have climbed in there by mistake? I should get back to asking Trucy about the accident. Can you tell us more about the victim? The great Mr. Roos. Who exactly is this Mr. Roos? You said he used to belong to Troupe Gramarye, right? Wait, you don't know who the great Mr. Roos is, Apollo? He's super famous. He's all people talk about on TV. Really. I just assumed he was one of Trucy's assistants. Way to diss the dead, Apollo. So how did the two of you come to perform together, Trucy? Well, like I said, he used to be a member of the Troupe Gramarye. He was a protege of my granddaddy, Magnifique Gramarye. The TV station arranged for us to perform together this time because of that connection. Did he continue performing as a magician after he left Troupe Gramarye? No, he got injured while practicing for a show about 13 years ago. That's why he left the troupe. After that, he took a break from magic for a while. I'm pretty sure it's a recent thing, getting famous again. I only started seeing him on TV again maybe last year. I had nothing but respect for Mr. Roos as a magician. I can't tell you how sad I am this happened. Can't imagine how traumatic it must be to have someone die during your big show. Oh, but hey! Don't worry, I'm fine. I have to stay strong for my fans. Oh, what? Huh? My bracelet is reacting. People tend to unconsciously tense up when they're trying to hide something. And when I pick up on their distress, the bracelet around my wrist starts to feel tight. Well, I guess this means that Trucy's trying to hide something from me. Well, I guess I should give my bracelet a tap with triangle. Trucy's hiding something? I can see things others can't. The slightest twitch, gesture, change in expression. Yes, I can see it all when I'm concentrating intensely like this. And when people are feeling nervous, they sometimes reveal a certain habit or tell. I'll just shift my viewpoint around until I find Trucy's tell. Usually the face. Yeah, right there. Okay. I think I found her telltale, tell. The music for the bracelet is always so creepy, right? Now I'll listen carefully to every word and see what she gets shifty eyes over. Then I'll perceive triangle, whatever she seems nervous about to get to the bottom of things. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Gotcha!
Come on, Trucy. You should know by now that you can't hide anything from me. Don't tell me that your bracelet reacted. Yep. And here I thought my smile was going to do the trick. Looks like I broke the first rule of being a magician. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face, right? I remember hearing you say that before. That's right. It's a grammar motto that my daddy used to say before he passed away. I'll never forget it. It's one of the few precious memories I have of him. But you can't keep everything inside, Trucy. You'll burst. Why don't you tell me what's bothering you? I can't. If I did, you wouldn't believe in me anymore. That's not true. As an entertainer, you believe in always keeping a smile on your face. And as a lawyer, I believe that's important to me as well. Wearing it gets me raring to go.
Take that!
Your attorney's badge. I swore in this badge that I would always believe in my client to the bitter end. That's the cornerstone of being a good lawyer, Mr. Wright taught me as much. No matter what you tell me, I'm going to keep on believing in you, Trucy. All I ask is for you to have a little faith in me, too. Alright. Thanks, Polly. The truth. Polly, what if I made a mistake? What do you mean? What if it really was me who stabbed Mr. Roos? What makes you say that? Well, in my escape trick, I used both a real sword and a rubber sword. I switched the real sword for the rubber sword just before I stabbed into the coffin. So even if somebody had been in there, the rubber sword shouldn't have hurt them. Mr. Roos was found dead in the coffin. Well, here's the thing. Here's what doesn't make any sense. If you were holding a real sword and a rubber sword, you would feel it immediately. Even if you're not touching the tip, just the weight. The weight of the rubber sword would weigh so much less. It would be like a toy. So it was, you would feel it immediately. I know, it just doesn't make any sense. I know I swapped the swords. You're absolutely sure. Positive, I practiced that trick hundreds of times, no mistakes. I remember very clearly swapping the swords this time too. But could I have made a mistake this time? Did she really have? Well, I better get going. Huh? Where to? To practice my act, of course. The show's only a few days away. You're really pushing yourself. Didn't you practice until late last night, too? Yup, because everything's gotta be just right. Maybe I really did kill Mr. Roos. Trucy. The worst possible mistake I could make. Such a horrific accident right in the middle of my show. And yet, all I can think about is, now that this has happened, Group Gramarye will get its performance rights pulled. There'll never be another show. Everything my family worked for, so hard for will be gone forever. And poor Mr. Roos had his whole life and a great career ahead of him. I ruined everything. I destroyed it all. I took it all away. Polly, I'm ready to pay for what I did. Trucy, I don't think you did anything wrong. You don't? I've had one question going through my head this whole time. Was this accident really your fault? What do you mean? I don't have any proof or anything. It just... I don't think you'd ever make a mistake like that. Apollo, I saw how hard you worked on your tricks, staying up late every night to practice. Yeah, and the thing is, though, is master magicians are perfectionists. They practice these tricks hundreds of times. And so no expert magician would ever make an accident like that, mistaking a real sword for a rubber sword. And I know you. You always get everything picture perfect. Nobody's perfect all of the time. Still, I think something else caused Mr. Roos's death, not any mistake of yours. After all, you're sure you swapped the swords, right? Yes, I remember doing it. I wonder what the autopsy report is going to say. That I just know it wasn't your fault, Trucy. But how can you say that? We don't have any proof it wasn't me. I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but I believe in you, Trucy. And I believe in your skill as a professional magician. Well, I'm the professional here. So I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. Thank you, Apollo. Thank you for believing in me. I'm going to believe in you too. Good. I'm so sorry. I need a tissue. I've never seen Trucy cry like this before. She always seems so strong. Maybe sometimes she's just putting on a brave face. Yeah, I've never seen her cry before in the entire series. She's still just a kid after all. So, I have to ask to make it official, but will you let me defend you? Yes! I'm counting on you. I don't want to have to cancel the show on its opening day. Right. She seems fine now. Trucy! Let's, win this trial together. Unlike some people. Well, we better get right to investigating. Come on, Athena. Wipe that nose and let's go. Excuse you, do you see any snot on my face, Apollo? Yes. Talk about an emotional roller coaster. We'll need to investigate the stage at the Penrose Theater where the body was found. Yeah. I hope no one will try to stop us. If you're going to the Penrose Theater, can I ask a favor? Of course. What is it? I left a very special notebook behind in my dressing room. Sure. We can pick it up for you. That notebook is really, really important to me. I don't know what I'd do if anybody read it. Well, wow. I wonder what's in it. The notebook is in my blue handbag on the table. It's big and black. You can't miss it. Thanks in advance. And with that, I've gotta go. Seems they're got more questions for me. Alright, see you later, Trucy. So should we investigate the stage first or go get the notebook? The notebook. April 27. Penrose Theater. Dressing room. Dressing room looks just the way it did before the incident. All these items look kind of lonely without their owners. We have to find Trucy's notebook for her. Let's see. You said it would be in her blue handbag on the table, right? There it is. We should see what else we can check out while we're here. Oh, here's that handbag Trucy was talking about. I feel a little funny about digging around in a girl's purse. I guess it's okay to open it. After all, she did ask us to. But not you, Apollo. Let me do it. Let's see. Huh? No, not this. What's this? Oh, wow. She has... Oh, Trucy, you are bad. What is it? I want to see, too. That's funny. You said it was a black notebook, right? There's nothing like that in here. It was taken. Maybe Trucy was wrong about where she left it. Let's keep looking around for it. What's this? A script of the show. It says Bonny, so it must belong to that, bunny assistant we saw on the show. Magic show strip. 9:38, Mr. Roos transforms to a dragon. Trucy's hat trick. 10:28, Bonnie's teleportation trick and Trucy's escape trick. 11:08, Mr. Roos's fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. You and I get to see the first 2 parts up to the end of 1020 segment. But this Mr. Roos's fire trick, we didn't get to see that part. Yeah, because they cannot cancel the show after the accident. Hey, there's a note about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. Come to think of it, Mr. Roos turned into a dragon. It breathed fire, didn't it? Coin tricks and fire tricks were Mr. Roos's specialties. Maybe they had some big finale planned, where Mr. Roos and Trucy would face off in a grand magical showdown after his revival. Bonnie's script, the fire trick was cancelled due to the incident. Okay, makeup? Look at all this stuff. I bet it belongs to that bunny assistant we saw in the show. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Does she really need all that stuff? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so much makeup. When it comes to sheer number of items, your desk back at the office isn't any better. Those things are a natural accumulation of 2 years of work, and they're all necessary. Really? Instant noodles and crackers. Of course! I need those for when I have to stay at the office all night preparing a case. And the comic books too? Oh, of course, I need those too. Manga these days are super realistic and informative. I need them for a reason. Manga. Yeah, that's Japanese anime comics. I see. You need to research street fighting and the funnies, do you? I say we take a look through Mr. Roos's things too. Hey, is that a notebook sticking out from behind the briefcase? You're right, it's practically screaming over here. Look at me. You think it could be? Oh wow, Fina. Our hunch was right. It's Trucy's notebook. What's it doing over here? What's it doing mixed in with Mr. Roos's stuff? Good question. Trucy's notebook. Trucy's ultra-important notebook. It was mixed in with Mr. Roos's belongings. It's locked. I guess that means we can't read it. I wonder what kinds of secrets are in there to make her want to lock it. A girl her age needs her privacy. Besides, everybody has a secret or two they don't want others to know about. If there's anything in there about kisses or crushes, I think Mr. Wright would cry. Oh, look at the adorable little bunnies. Rabbits, huh? I used to have a pet rabbit. Really? You? Ha ha ha, you sure don't look the type. What do you mean? What's wrong with me having a pet rabbit? Aren't people who have rabbits as pets usually the quiet, sensitive people? Well, pardon me for being so loud and insensitive. Look at all these costumes. I bet they're all for Trucy's. Oh, could you tell by the scent? Are you like some kind of bloodhound or something? I'm her assistant, not her pet. Oh, these are from Prosecutor Gavin. Roses, huh? How like him pretentious. They might be pretentious, but you know what? He makes it work. Yeah, that's right. Kristoff would not prosecute her either. So yeah, so Kristoff wouldn't prosecute her either. Paul, I've noticed this for a while now, but you get awfully prickly when it comes to Prosecutor Gavin. You think so? I mean, don't hate him just because he's beautiful. That's not it all at all. Hey, these flowers, they're from Lammeror. Lammeror. Where have I heard that name before? She's a famous singer. They call her the Siren of the Ballad, and she's pretty popular. Why would a famous singer be sending Trucy flowers? Well, we met her through a case I headed up once. Wow, your circle of acquaintances is bigger than I thought. Lammeror. I don't know why, but her songs really touch me for some reason. I hope she's doing well. And she is most likely, she's most likely Trucy and, Apollo's mother, Lammeror. That's what they don't know. Huh? Aren't these, Ninetales flowers? You know, those flowers that only grow in Ninetales Vale? Oh my goodness, you're right. There's a card here and a letter to go with it. The card says, "Good luck, Trucy, from Damien and Jinxie Tenma." Mayor Tenma and Jinxie, huh? What does the letter say? Let's see. Oh! There's a message for you in here, too. Please tell Mr. Demon Lawyer I said thank you for everything. Thanks to him, I overcame my fears, and now I'm not afraid of yokai anymore. And guess what? I've even become friends with yokai like Itten Moment and Konaki Jiji. Ha ha ha. No matter what happens, I guess she'll never grow out of her demon obsession. Hey, Trucy put some posters up, I see. Oh, here's one of Troop Grammary. Troop Grammary. Magical, menagerie, huh? Looks like a bunch of folks dressed in outfits. A bit too gaudy for their age, if you ask me. But isn't that pretty much, how all the best magicians dress? Was Troop Grammary really such a big deal back in the day? Guess so. Everybody in the country knew them back then. They had great tricks. Like making a building disappear, or escaping a safe drop from a helicopter. Wow, I was in Europe at that time, so I had no idea. But even if you, know about them, then they must have been really famous. I used to see them a lot on TV. I think it was back when I was in junior high. The one in black was the original leader of the troop, Grammary, Trucy's grandfather. His name was Magnifi Grammary. The one in the pink with the mustache, that's Zach Grammary, Trucy's late biological father. Oh, and look, there's Mr. Roos. So this poster's from back when he was a member of the troop Grammary, huh? Trucy said he left the troop after he was injured during a show or something, right? Mr. Roos was injured during a show 13 years ago and left troop Grammary. I wonder if that accident has anything to do with this. Well, we've examined just about everything, I think. Looking through other people's stuff was so thrilling, like I'm doing something naughty. I know what you mean. Just don't go poking around in my things at the office. Why? What do you have to hide? I don't think I like how her eyes, lit up all of a sudden. Anyway, we better get this notebook to Trucy. And let's go to the, we'll go to the stage at the same time, too. April 27, Penrose Theater. Stage. Okay, let's get down to business. Hey, what do you think you're doing? We're the attorneys for the defendant in this case. It's alright, is it alright if we examine the scene? Of course it's not alright. I don't care if you're the defense or the president. No unauthorized investigations. Oh, come on. It wouldn't kill you to let us take a look around. I said no, now get out of here. Scram. I guess we'll just have to try and get permission from the lead detective. Wonder who the lead detective is after, the incident with Fulbright. Yep, we're never gonna see him again. And that wasn't even Fulbright. Penrose Theater. The person you are trying to call is not available. After the tone, please record. Tried calling Mr. Wright 100 times, but he never picks up. We've left him some voicemails, so he'll probably call once he gets them. He's gonna flip out when he hears what happened to Trucy. Hey, this is the place, the theater where that magical murder happened. Oh yeah, wonder if they brought the dead body out yet. I hear they already arrested the murderer. They say it's a young girl. Yeah, high school student. Can you believe it? Kids these days. What's with all the curious bystanders? They sure are kicking up a fuss. How dare they call Trucy a murderer? They've got some nerve. We can't let people think that about her. We have to defend her. Apollo, is that you? Who is this? Oh. Emma. It's been a while. How you been? Oh, can't complain. I haven't seen you in ages, so she's the lead detective. Okay, so it's not Fulbright anymore, it's Emma. Emma we can trust, though. Emma is not usually in the best of moods. So I never quite know what to do or say around her. Well, you have some business to take care of, so I guess we better get going. Hey, wait a minute. What? Was it something I said? You're darn right it's something you said. What's with you brushing me off like that? We've got heaps to catch up on. After all, you've been through. You're not still mad at me about something, are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Who's this, Apollo? A distant cousin or something? No. Emma's a detective I've had the pleasure of working with before. Hello, I'm Emma Sky, forensic investigator. Oh, her theme song is playing. What, so you're finally a full-fledged forensic investigator? Yeah, I finally achieved my lifelong dream. Look, I've even had an official forensic investigator armband and everything. That's great, Emma. I bet the exam was really hard, huh? Oh, it was a cinch. Really? Because I thought you said something about failing it over and over. Well, never mind that. The important thing is I'm not a plain old detective anymore. So no more boring old investigations for me. I'm so happy I could hug the whole world. Coming from you, that's really something. Criminals beware. Fingerprinting, luminol testing, DNA analysis. Emma Sky is raring to go, so bring it on. Well, I guess it's goodbye, grumpy clouds. Hello, fanatical, sun. She's very cheerful, isn't she? Is it because of the weather or something? She sure wasn't like this before. She sure was pretty frustrated back when she was assigned to Criminal Affairs Department. And she was always munching on chocolate snackaroos to relieve her stress. Yeah, that. The eating. Oh, man. Snackaroos and stress are a thing of the past. I've said goodbye to both of them. And, may you never have to see either again. By the way, are you two here because of the murder? Murder? Don't you mean the accident? Oh, then I guess you haven't heard. The case is being treated as a straight-up homicide now. What? Oh, no. Oh, no. Now this is much worse. What? Just so you know, I heard that the prosecution is going to argue tomorrow that Trucy outright murdered Mr. Roos. Oh, wonderful. Well, what? Are you kidding? They're treating it as a murder? Emma, please tell us everything you know. There's... In order to charge somebody with murder, you need to show intent. That's the whole thing. Well, you don't always need to show intent, but you need to show that there's some kind of planning involved in it. That's like the big part of charging somebody with murder. This was pretty much a tragic accident, if anything. Of course, anything to help Trucy. The incident. Why is the case being treated as a homicide now and not involuntary manslaughter? Well, apparently, there's something that proves it was a straight-up homicide. Well, that's vague. Do you know any of the details? No, I'm afraid that's all I was told. Really? How come? Well, because the lead prosecutor is kind of a hard guy to read. So maybe it's just a culture gap thing. Anyway, he's not one to really share his thoughts. Wait, what do you mean by culture gap? I mean that he's a foreigner, so his way of going about things is different. So who exactly am I up against tomorrow? Congrats on finally becoming the forensic investigator you always wanted to be. Thanks. I failed that exam so many times, but I finally did it. I can finally use my forensic kits openly whenever I want. Oh yeah, used to have to stealth use a kit you sent away for. Oh, I still use that one too. But now it's more of a hobby kit. It's important to have hobbies too, you know? So basically, nothing's changed. Are you kidding? I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for taking fingerprints for fun now. It's positively life-changing. I can take all the prints I want. Are you sure you're allowed to do that? Sure, I'm sure. I've been collecting all the prints I've taken into a personal database. Now hold out your hands. I need to get your prints too. You can't do that. You cannot ask people for their prints. Just promise me you won't use them for evil. I can't believe she took my prints too, Apollo. The prosecution. Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth has been reorganizing the prosecution's office lately. As part of that effort, he's gotten rid of a lot of corrupt prosecutors. So the prosecutor's office is looking pretty empty these days. And that's how a foreign prosecutor got assigned to this case? That's part of it, yes. We were short on prosecutors, and this guy just happened to be visiting. And what's the purpose of his visit? Well, some insurgents from the Kingdom of Karain are thought to be hiding out here. As an international prosecutor, he apparently came to investigate the matter personally. So he's from the Kingdom of Karain. That's right, he's also a Karainist monk. A monk? And so he's probably gonna hate lawyers too if he's from Karain. A monk. How did he get assigned to this particular case anyway? It seems he's very devoted to furthering his studies as a prosecutor. He wanted to learn how crime scenes are investigated here, so he just showed up. So he was just curious, huh? He looked the entire crime scene over quite earnestly. And just as everybody else was ready to call it a case of involuntary manslaughter, this is most certainly a murder. The cruel act of an impure soul. That's what he said, just like that. Then he volunteered himself as the prosecutor for the case. With the shortest prosecutors right now, the prosecutor's office was glad to have him. So Trucy was arrested for murder all because of this guy, huh? I have to say, he's definitely not your typical prosecutor. He says court is where a victim receives their last rites. Ooh. Where the truth is revealed, the criminal is judged, and the victim's soul sees salvation. Receiving last rites in court allows the victim to finally rest in peace, or so he claims. So to him, a trial is like performing funeral rites for the victim, huh? That's certainly a unique way of looking at it. His name is Nakyuta Sakmadi? Nakyuta Sakmadi? What is that supposed to be an Easter egg for? Nakyuta Sakmadi. So usually the names are like mean something. Nakyuta Sakmadi. What? Nakyuta Sakmadi? That's right. What, do you know him or something? Oh, I guess you could say I've heard of him. Yeah, well, he is pretty famous. Really? Yes, they say he travels the world, solving difficult cases after difficult case. While, there is a hard case to crack, he's called in to prosecute it. Wow, sounds like he's going to be tough to beat. I can't believe this. I have to stand in court against him? So Apollo seems to know him. He seems like a very kind and gentle person, though. He's very polite and understanding to everyone he talks to. Huh. So he's a pretty agreeable guy, then. Yeah, he's bound to see what kind of person Trucy really is. But don't, they hate defense attorneys in Karain? Wouldn't he even listen to what, we have to say? I don't see why not. He certainly seems like the type of person who would. Even so, do you think, you could do us a favor, Emma? Could you tell Prosecutor Maddie about Trucy, about what a good person she is? Of course. Leave it to me. I'll make him understand there's no way Trucy could have committed murder. Well, at least Emma is on our side. I hope he listens to reason. Me too. This is looking pretty bad, Apollo. They're calling it a murder, and they're even got proof. What are we gonna do? Look on the bright side. That's what. Bright side? What bright side? Well, the good thing about there being proof is that it has to point to the real killer. We can find out who that is. We can prove Trucy's innocence. Oh, hey, you're right. Which means our objectives are clear. We have to find two things: proof of Trucy's innocence, and evidence of the true culprit's identity. You know what, Apollo? You're starting to give me a glimmer of hope. And that means there's only one thing to do. Emma, would it be alright if we investigate the scene? If I said no, you just do it behind my back anyway, right? Ha ha ha. Would I do something like that? Guess the jig is up. Alright, but I better come along. Who knows what sort of mischief you get up to if I'm not there to keep an eye on you. Mischief. Sounds like Emma trusts you about as far as she can throw you, Apollo. He has been known to move things around at the scene of a crime, you know. Yep. And what about you? You used to do all kinds of forensic tests on things without permission. There's nothing wrong with that. After all, forensics is always on the side of justice. How's that even remotely fair? Okay, let's go into the stage. Let's see if we can talk to that annoying cop now. April 27. Penrose Theater. Stage. Alright, let's get down to investigating, shall we? Just make sure you don't move anything or I'll get in big trouble. Fine, I promise. To only move the things I have to. Well, I have my own investigation to conduct, but let me know if you need anything. It's been a while since we've done any investigating. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's dive right in. You do remember how to do this, right? If you don't, I can give you a quick rundown. Could I have Athena give me a rundown? I'm okay, I already know what I'm doing. Don't worry about me. I've got it all locked away in the vault up here. Good. And I'm sure it'll all come back to me too as we go along. Wait, wasn't it you who just offered to give me a rundown? Okay. Okay, let's take a look at all this. We're gonna look at the evidence. So this is the coffin the dead body appeared from. I actually haven't examined that yet. Would you two mind giving me a hand? No sweat. Trucy said the coffin was supposed to be empty when she stabbed it. So how did the victim even get in there? Bet there's a secret door or something. There is, I see it. It sure is an oddly shaped thing, isn't it? And, in real life, lawyers are not allowed to investigate the crime scene. Lawyers might show up at the crime scene to take, like, a few pictures, but they're not gonna be, like, within close proximity of the evidence. So, you know, a lawyer's never gonna be allowed to walk around the crime scene. That's just never gonna happen. But it sure is an oddly shaped thing, isn't it? The lawyer is gonna be shown the evidence before the trial, so if the lawyer wants to take a look at what they're gonna be used up, what evidence are gonna be used against them at the trial, they do technically have a right to examine that, or at least a documentation of the evidence, but they can't actually interact with the evidence itself. Who knew, it could unfold into something like this? Well, I heard that since it's used for magic tricks, the left and right panels are made to be interchangeable. How that helps with magic tricks, though, I have no idea. I'm sure they make use of it some way we can't even imagine. This is where the body was. A white outline, huh? So this is where the body was. What exactly did it look like just after the incident occurred, I wonder? Oh, I have a photo of the crime scene. Here you go. Oh, wow. It looks like he was stabbed in the back. Yeah, and that's a problem, because he would have been standing this way, and she would have stabbed him through the side, not through the back. That's already wrong there. Yes, that's definitely what killed him. What's this thing around his waist? It's a stunt harness. A stunt wire can be attached to it so the person can float and fly through the air. Come to think of it, he did fly in Act 1, didn't he? The body that appeared in the coffin, there's a harness around his waist for a stunt wire. Yeah, because, look, if he was standing in that coffin, he would have nowhere to, like, move around. He would be like this. Like, he couldn't turn or anything. He could only go down. That's really the only place he could go. And remember that Trucy stabbed him from this side. So if she stabbed him from this side, the wound would have been in his side, but it's directly in his back. I remember where she stabbed him. She stabbed him from this side, over here. So already that's a red flag. That's already wrong right there. Wait a minute. It looks like the bottom of the coffin opens too. Oh, a secret door. Let's try opening it. Well, look at that. It seems to lead to someplace under the stage. That's right. It goes to the understage passage. It's pitch black down there. Hold on. I think I see something glowing faintly. It's hard to make anything out from up here. If you try to go down there, the magicians will get mad at you. Apparently, there are things down there that will give away the secrets behind their tricks. Well, that's irrelevant, because the police have to know basically everything. Well, that sucks. It's all right there, and we can't even check it out. So, literally, this case is a bit ridiculous, but if this was the case, if something like this did actually happen, the police would have every right to investigate that. We're definitely gonna have to examine that understage pass at some point, though. So, like, you know, the police need to know how the trick works. They need to know everything about it. So, I guess it's technically, like, it's a form of copyright. If there's, like, a secret trick and it's revealed to the public, there are, like, you know, contracts on that, specifically, you know, for stunts, you know, how stunts are done, so, like, people, you know, NDA, non-disclosure agreements, so people can't give stuff like that away, but the police, I don't think that would be relevant in a situation like this, because the police need all the information they can get. What's this? Apollo, look, there's a secret door in the back panel of the coffin. You think Mr. Roos could have entered the coffin through here? If he could have done it, without Trucy noticing it, maybe. It's like two magicians trying to go out, magic one another right under each other's noses. Wow, this dragon is a lot more handmade than I expected. Yeah, well, I can't tell you how many hours I put into that freaking thing. What? You made it? Trucy had me help put it together, you know, as her assistant. She has you wrapped up around her little finger, doesn't she? Trucy's smile has some kind of magical power that makes it impossible to say no. This is the sword. There's a sword here. It's covered in blood. It must be the murder weapon. Trucy said she was sure she switched it out with a rubber sword. Unfortunately, this one certainly doesn't look like it's made of rubber. Hey Emma, were there any fingerprints on the sword? Let's see. According to my data, no prints were found. That could be because the culprit wiped them off. Come to think of it, Trucy was wearing gloves during the show, so she certainly wouldn't have left any prints either. This is what they call a set piece. It's a piece of the onstage scenery. It suddenly fell down after the body was revealed, if I remember correctly. Just as the brave heroine screams, the spell on the dragon breaks. Losing its wings, the dragon falls to the ground. That moment marked the collapse of Trucy's magical kingdom. Magic, huh? Yeah, sure. The timing was so perfect, I'd be genuinely surprised if it was magic. Something isn't right. It just doesn't make any sense. What's the matter, Apollo? You're making that weird thinking face again. How did what should have been a rubber sword get switched with a metal one? Plus, the timing of that dragon set piece falling down. Wasn't that just a little too convenient? Yeah, and it was because the killer was tampering with evidence at that time. Something just isn't sitting right. Ground control to Major Apollo. Can you hear me, Major Apollo? Athena, I think I've got it. I think somebody switched Trucy's rubber sword for the metal one. Huh? To pin the murder on her. Someone switched the swords? But when could they have done that? When everyone was too busy to notice. Somebody could have switched Trucy's rubber sword of metal one after the set piece fell. It says, I would say it's after the set piece fell, because I don't think Trucy actually stabbed him. He was stabbed before, and they just switched out the swords. After the set piece fell, everybody in the audience was kicked out of the theater. In the ensuring chaos, somebody could have carried out a cover-up operation. Any one of the stagehands or show personnel could have done it before the police arrived. So what you're saying is, somebody actively trying to frame Trucy for the crime. Yes, some disgusting individual is trying to get away with murder. So it's someone related to the show. There's definitely a very high chance of that. Now, if we could just figure out who it is. We have one of these in the office too, don't we? Yeah, that poor magic prop we use as a shelving unit. I'd kindly like to see Trucy perform this trick sometime. Well, we both know you'd be the one in the box if she ever did. I feel bad for the prop, but it can stay a shelving unit in that case. Oh, I've seen something like this before. It's like that game where you stick swords into a barrel until a little man inside pops up. Huh, that doesn't sound like any game I've ever heard of. Really, it's pretty famous in Europe. Did you have anything to play with as a kid? Oh, you know us simple Americans. We're happy with just a hoop and a stick. So Apollo confirms that he's an American. Yeah, they really, I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the comments let me know. I don't think they ever reveal if Ace Attorney takes place in America, do they? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think that, yeah, I'm not sure if they reveal if it's in, because some people say it's in Japan, some people say it's in America, other people say it's in a fictional country that's a combination of both America and Japan. Emma, can I ask you a question? Shh, this is the best part. She won't even look this way. Oh, what great prints. Another set for my collection. She, certainly seems to enjoy her work, doesn't she? Oh, hey, this is a curtain. We should probably check up top also, the wiring. This is a curtain. I wonder what's behind it. The backstage area. There's magic equipment and stuff like that back there. I'll open it as a crack and check it out later. You weren't thinking of opening that curtain, were you? Who, me? Ha ha ha. Would I ever do a thing like that? Rats, guess I'll have to ask her to open it for me later. Investigate the crime scene. Camera? That video camera is pointed right at the stage. We might get a video. Wonder what it recorded. I want to take a peek, but Emma would. Wow, this residue data is so fascinating. He's so fixated on that blood-stained data. Her eyes are getting a bloodshot. Quick, Apollo, while Emma's off in forensics fantasy land. Let's see what's recorded in the camera. Yeah, that is a good point. We might be able to get a video on here. That smoke, when that happened, I wonder if that was when the murder happened. The camera doesn't show the body, too. And then the thing falls. It's the same video we saw on TV where you can't see the body at all. Apollo, did you notice a strange shadow in that footage? No, why? I don't think it was my imagination, but I'm pretty sure I saw something. Strange shadow, huh? Wonder what it was. Let's see. What else do we need to do on this stage? Emma, did you find any fingerprints on the coffin? Actually, I haven't checked yet. I was going to do that at the end. I like to save the best for last. We aren't exactly talking about dessert here. Oh, well, we are. Would you like to partake in my delicious dessert? I don't mind sharing. Oh, yes, please. There's always room for dessert, right? Alright, I guess I'll join you two. Yeah, so, basically is if the prosecution found out that a bunch of lawyers were helping the lead detective do a forensics test at the scene, this entire case, oh man, yeah, this would not fly in court at all. So, could you show us how you check for prints, Emma? Sure, let's start with the basics. As you know, fingerprints are an excellent way of identifying someone. That's because no two people have the same set of fingerprints, not even twins. So if we find any prints in the coffin, they might lead us to the killer. If the culprit was dumb enough to leave prints behind, sure. Let's go ahead and dust for prints now. Let's see. This looks like a promising spot. Try dusting the area with fingerprint powder. Move the cursor around and keep pressing X until it's thoroughly covered with powder. When you're done, blow with triangle to get rid of the excess powder. The powder in this bottle is all we have to work with. If you run out, try blowing on the area. Any excess powder will be returned to the bottle. Alright, I think I'm ready to give it a try. Well, this is definitely gonna take some time right now. I can't do any more. Oh? You found some prints. Looks like the fingers of somebody's left hand. Now, let's try comparing these with the ones we have on file. First, switch to Analyze mode of L1 to select a print. Next, select which print you want to analyze and confirm it with X. Okay, I've got a pretty clear print here. I wonder whose it is. I have the prints of everyone involved in the case right here. Just choose the person whose prints you'd like to compare the sample against. Well, the last person who was in the coffin was... Yeah, it's a perfect match. Yep, it is a match. Okay, it's Mr. Roos's prints. Bingo. Looks like the prints belong to the deceased Mr. Roos. Well, if we found prints here, maybe we can find them elsewhere in the coffin too. Guess I'll try dusting for more prints. Just gonna try to use all of this pretty much that I can. Okay. There, found some. These prints are apparently Mr. Roos's too. Shall we try looking for prints on the outside of the coffin now? Yes, let's. This time you'll be able to rotate the coffin and look at it from different angles. That'll give you a chance to examine it thoroughly. You can use R to turn the coffin any way which you like. And holding R1 while using R will let you jump right to where the action is. If you ever get stuck or confused, you can always reset things with R3. Okay, and if I find any prints, I'll choose one to run against your data, just like before. Okay. Move camera. Oh. Probably near the doors. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna put it right near the doors. This is probably where. Let's see. Nothing? Oh? We got something right here. Damn, okay. I wish you could do this a little faster, though. Okay, hang on. You know what? Let's... This is the door that leads underneath, so this is gonna be really important, seeing whose prints are on this. Nothing? What is this? Oh, we got something up here. There, I got a print. Alright, I'll just check it against my data. Huh, that's funny. It doesn't match the prints of anyone involved in this case. Really, none of them. How can that be? Now then, I wonder if I can find any more prints. Like, this door, I'm convinced that there's gotta be something on this door. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna take some time to find the right area for the prints. Oh man, yeah, this game. I wish I could just do this a little faster too. Think. Yeah, I wonder, for any of my viewers, can you guys tell me, did this part of the case make anybody else rage? Like, it's not really necessarily pissing me off right now, but this is getting a little irritating, is like so many parts of this where you have to, like, do this. And you're trying to find the specific part where the prints would be. I don't think I checked this part. This part I don't think I Okay. Probably over here. Wait. Nothing. I'm gonna go around it now. Nothing again. Okay. The prints have to be here somewhere. Is there like maybe a hint where it could be? We'll cover this first layer up here, and then we'll go down, if there's nothing here. Oh? I think I found it. Okay. Found another print. Judging from its position and location, it's weird. It's like a finger. It might have been made when someone put this lid on the coffin. Let's see now. There was one part during the show where someone put this lid on, after Trucy had gotten into the coffin. Therefore, this print should belong to... Bonny, yeah. Looks like the print belongs to that bunny girl. Come to think of it, she did put the lid on the coffin. Yeah, that's why it was like just her. It wasn't. She didn't put all of her fingers on it. It's probably when she left her print on the lid. It looks like that's about all the prints we're going to find. To sum everything up, the prints we found belong to the victim, Mr. Roos, the bunny assistant Bonny, and some third unidentified person. That's strange. We didn't see anybody else up there on the stage during the show. Does that mean some outsider was up there? Somebody unrelated to the show? I guess we can't really say at this point. Well, thank goodness we didn't find any of Trucy's fingerprints, right? But that's only because Trucy's wearing gloves. Hey Emma, there's something else that's been bothering me about the prints. Don't you think there's something odd about Mr. Roos's prints? Yeah. It's only his looks like his left hand, right? Yeah, it does look like his left hand. Odd? What's odd about them? Well, if Mr. Roos was standing in the coffin facing forward, he would have left prints like this, right? When we look at the actual prints, they're facing backwards. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Hey, what do you know? You're right. I wonder how they wound up like that. Maybe he was accidentally facing the wrong way at first, but then turned around later. No, the coffin is much too small for a guy his size to turn around in. About all he would have been able to manage is maybe a little bit of twisting. And it really doesn't make any sense, does it? I think I might have hit on something major here. Oh, I have just one more question, Emma. Oh yeah? What is it? Mr. Roos was stabbed in the back, right? But if he was standing in the coffin like this, how would that have worked? Exactly. I called it. I got it. I called it. Yep. Oh, right. That... The lead prosecutor has an explanation, actually. He thought that the victim might have tried to dodge the sword as it came into the coffin. Oh, that's BS. So maybe he twisted his body and the sword ended up stabbing him in the back. That's his theory, anyway. I see. I guess that sounds plausible. In addition to prints from the victim and Bonny, a set of unknown fingerprints were found on the top. Well, I guess that's about wraps up our investigation of the stage. Actually, there's still the area behind that curtain. Don't you want to know what's back there? Sure do, but Emma told us not to move or touch anything, remember? Would you quit staring at me? Fine, I'll go open it for you. Wow, look at you flaunting your lady killer eyes. Ha ha ha, I have my ways. I'm only doing this so I won't get charged with animal abuse for not throwing you a bone. I guess puppy eyes can be just as effective. Alright, I'll be back. There's a guillotine back there? Well, go on and investigate to your heart's content. Before you go moving anything. I know. We'll be sure to ask first. Oh, by the way, just examine the backstage and move the area beyond the curtain. Okay, time to get to investigating. Okay. Seeing the stage this way kind of breaks the illusion, doesn't it? It just goes to show that some things are better left unseen. I'll listen to you, sounding all grown up and stuff. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have some cynical one-liners of your own someday too. Oh boy, I can't wait. Anyway, on to more pressing matters. Let's go examine the backstage area. Okay. What is this? Hey, there's a coffin back here too. It looks like there's a stuffed dragon inside. No, wait, look! It's just an illusion. See, the dragon looks like it's inside. But it's really just painted on the front lid. Oh wow, you're right. That's really something else. If the show hadn't been cancelled, we might have gotten to see this trick too, huh? The guillotine. It's a guillotine. But it's not real. It's just another one of Trucy's props. Wonder if it was supposed to appear in the show. Huh. You mean she didn't mention it to you? She said you were going to make a guest appearance on stage for a guillotine trick. No, I definitely remember not agreeing to something like losing my head on national TV. Here's a historical fact for you guys with the guillotine, the French execution weapon. The guillotine was actually named after the guy Guillotine. That was actually the guy who actually ended up making it. But about it is, this execution method was actually not designed by the revolutionaries. A lot of people think that the French revolutionaries were the ones who actually designed this. They weren't. The monarchy did. So the government before the revolutionaries overthrew it were actually the ones who designed it, but they never fully used it. And the whole purpose of the guillotine, the whole reason that it was invented, and this is what people aren't going to believe me when I tell them, it was actually meant to be a more humane form of execution. That was the whole point, because back then, you only got executed really two ways back then. You either got shot by firing squad, but most people that got shot by firing squad were soldiers. So soldiers typically were the ones who got shot by firing squad. But literally, if you were just charged with a crime and you got the death penalty, 99% of the time you would get hanged instead of shot. And so some people that got hung actually still survived for some time. I guess it depends on the person, depends on the weight of the rope, the weight of the person, a lot of factors. Some people would die instantly, like just within a few, you would just pull down their legs, it would snap their neck, and that would just kill them. But other times, people would survive for some time up there. And the whole purpose of this was actually meant to reduce suffering during executions. And this might sound a bit controversial, what I'm going to say. Technically, the guillotine actually causes less suffering than hanging. Technically, it does. Because when you really think about it, it's an instant death. Because the blade just comes down, and that's it. You're dead. The thing is, though, is that when the head, and this is kind of brutal what I'm going to say, when the head actually gets cut off, the person is actually still alive for a couple seconds. People don't know that because your body's, your mind, your brain is trying to process that basically your head's been cut off, but then when the blood stops, going to the rest of the body, you die. That's why during the French Revolution, sometimes when they pulled heads, the heads were still blinking because for a couple seconds they were still alive. But it's really brutal. It's one of the most brutal forms of execution because it's just so brutal, seeing that happen to a human. But technically, it's an instant death. That's the thing. Now, whether the person feels pain, I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if the person feels pain during that. But it's a quicker death than hanging, as messed up as that sounds. Not endorsing it, but I'm just saying. Okay, what is this? Is the rope here. What is this thing? It's a winch. I'm guessing they used it to pull Mr. Hat up. Oh look, there are two winches. One back there and one up here. Apparently, each winch was rigged up to something different. One of them was used to hold up the dragon set piece, while the other was connected to that weird puppet in the catwalk. A weird puppet, huh? We better go check out the catwalk later. This is Mr. Hat, right? A dustpan, a broom, and a bucket. Guess they use these to keep the stage tidy. Oh, it's not? I thought it was Mr. Hat. I doubt that's what this bucket is for, though. See how it says fire on it? Oh, I guess it's a fire bucket, then. Yes, I heard that theater owner went out and bought that just for this show. When he heard there was going to be a fire trick, he flew to the store to get it. But can a little bucket like this really put out a raging fire? Nah. I'm guessing the owner thought it could. But it doesn't look like it's been used. In fact, the inside is caked with dust. Yeah, the whole reason that bucket was purchased by the owner wasn't basically to stop a fire. It was basically to cover himself. So, there are times when scummy bosses will actually put in safety measures, but the safety measures they put in are just inadequate. And they put those in just to basically prevent lawsuits in case of something happening. So, have you ever noticed, like, Have you ever noticed some of the fire escapes? Like, some of the places where I grew up in New York, some of the fire escapes in New York are, like, really old. And they're, like, really old, you know, staircases, like these metal staircases that are on the side of the building. That's basically meant so that you can, you know, evacuate in case there's a fire. You can't get down through the floors. You go out through the window and you go down the staircase and you pull down the fire escape ladder and you get down from that. You ever notice how some of those fire escapes in New York, how they're really bad condition? And it's actually been like that for a long time. Those fire escapes are very old, but even when they were built, they weren't built with the best conditions possible. Because back then, a lot of factory owners and a lot of, you know, apartment owners were extremely cheap. And fire escapes were actually made a law, like, I'm trying to remember exactly when, but there was the triangle shirt fire, and I would just look it up. Let me actually look up, when did fire escapes become mandatory in New York? Let's see here. 1860s. Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire. And this fire happened in 1911. And it actually didn't have fire escapes. Although the floor and number of exits, including 2 freight layers, a fire escape and stairways down to the green, prevented workers from descending. There was only one single fire escape on the entire building, and workers were actually... So basically, what the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire was, it was probably the worst factory disaster in New York's history. It happened 3 years before World War I. It was a factory, and it was mostly girls that actually worked inside the factory. You even had kids working back then, a lot of teenagers too. The youngest victims were 14 years old, my god. But anyways, about the safety measures, the point that I'm getting at is that these factory owners, there was only one fire escape on a massive building like that. And the whole reason there was only one fire escape was basically so that the owner had that in case they were sued. That was pretty much it. So that if there was injuries or something like that, if something happened, the owner could basically say, oh, look, I had a fire escape, even though it was just garbage. It was junk. It was just basically prevent lawsuits, and I guarantee you that fire bucket is the exact same thing. In court, that would not fly, though. In court, like, something like that would not fly, that there was, just one fire bucket. Literally, even if he had just one fire extinguisher, that probably would not fly either. The court would probably say, you're doing a fire trick, and yet you don't have more, stuff to basically prevent the fire from going out. And in real life, if there actually was some kind of fire trick going on at, like, a major theater like this, because this is like a really big theater, if there actually was a fire trick going on at a big theater like this, there probably would be firemen on standby, right there. There would probably be right there waiting. That's why a lot of times, if you notice, like, circuses and magic tricks, if you look in the crowd, you will see oftentimes paramedics standing in the background. And the whole reason they are there is that in case something happens, in case there's an accident. That's pretty much the whole thing. And the same thing, if you notice, there's usually a person with a shotgun or a rifle that's actually in the crowd if there's like a dangerous animal. If there's like a trick with a dangerous animal, the person in the crowd is meant to actually shoot the animal if the animal attacks the people performing the tricks. That's basically it. So there are people in the crowd that are basically hired precisely for this. The firemen are typically going to be, government employees, and the EMTs also at the same time too. But the people that with the guns are typically going to be working for the circus. They're probably guards, trained, in animal control and such forth. But yeah, basically, I'm trying not to get off topic too much, but the point that I'm getting at is that a lot of this stuff was actually just put in primarily not for people's safety, but it was primarily for, it was primarily to prevent people from getting sued. And if you live like in an old building that has like a fire escape, make sure you pay attention to that fire escape and just like see like how safe it is. I'm not saying to climb on it, but just pay attention to it. It's like find out how old it is, the conditions of it, because it's always important to like know stuff like that. Okay, what was the point of even buying the bucket then? To prevent lawsuits. Wait a minute, that means nobody actually prepared for the fire trick after all. I have a feeling this might be an important bit of information. A bucket to be used in case of fire. Not only was it empty, but dust lines inside of the pail. Let's see here. Anything else that we're missing? There's a ladder up here. It looks like this ladder leads to the catwalk overhead. Do I really have to go up there? Why don't you go up and check it out, Athena? I'm sure you'll like the air up there. Huh? Where in the world did you get that idea from? Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm an airhead? How rude can you get? Haha, that's not what I'm saying at all. Now up you go, I'll just wait down here. Okay, now I'm starting to get to the picture. You're afraid of heights, aren't you, Apollo? Come on now, this is for Trucy. She needs us, so up the catwalk we go. Well, guess it's time to put on my big boy pants. Yeah, I will be honest with you guys, my biggest fear, the thing that I am the most scared of is heights. So I would probably, even a small ladder, I would probably struggle going up a small ladder. I'm just terrified of heights. Are you alright, Apollo? You're white as a sheet. Ha ha ha. I'm fine. Don't look down, just justice. Don't look down. Those green things over there look like cushions. I probably would be more scared going down the ladder than going up the ladder. I guess one of them was used to absorb the force to impact Mr. Hat zipped into it. Let's go check it out. Way over there? Mr. Hat, there he is. What's that? Look, Apollo, it's Mr. Hat. He's attached to a wire. Actually, didn't Trucy say something like... They quickly raised Mr. Hat up by wire into a cushion on the catwalk. Maybe the stageheads pulled Mr. Hat up and left him here afterwards. That wire attached to his back. Looks like it's connected to one of the winches down below. Huh, Mr. Hat's cape is ripped. Did that happen during the show? That's odd. It almost looks like it was slashed with a blade. Yeah, that is a point. How in the world did that happen? During the smoke. It probably happened during the smoke. Apollo, I see that you're trying to take this all in stride, and I respect that. But seriously, you're trembling like a newborn fawn up here. Get it together, man. I can't help it. Wow, that's a big pulley. Looks like it's connected to one of the winches down below. The dragon set piece must have been hanging from this. Hey, look! There are cushions attached to the underside. Well, what are you standing way over here for? Come on, over and look. You're not gonna try and push me off, are you? Seriously, Apollo, come on. You'll be fine. Here, do you want me to hold your hand? Yes, actually, if you wouldn't mind. Looks like you're right. And Trucy mentioned something about this, didn't she? That's a cushion. That cushion was supposed to absorb the force to impact Mr. Hat was pulled up. These set pieces look like a rabbit and a moon. Although, they kind of look like they could be a duck and a croissant, too. What do they look like to you, Apollo? The Grim Reaper. And a guy falling to his death. Come on, let's wrap this investigation before your imagination catches up with you. I think I pretty much got everything up here. There really isn't. The thing is, doesn't this broom look kind of like Mr. Hat, right? Like, am I right on that? Doesn't it kind of look like Mr. Hat? Let me look at Mr. Hat again. It kind of does, a little bit. Yeah, like, look at the pink on the bottom and the blue. I wonder if that's a coincidence, if I'm just overthinking it or something like that. But, let's skip through this because we've seen this. But it looks a lot like Mr. Hat. That's, like, what I'm thinking with that, It could be mistaken for Mr. Hat. This is weird. And the understage. There's a sign here that says understage. I bet these stairs go to the understage area. Trucy told me she and her fellow magicians call it the Abyss. I wonder why. Who knows, maybe because it's really dark down there or something. Oh, I bet they've got all kinds of magical goodies stashed away down there. Come on, let's go check it out. Huh? The door's locked. The entrance to the Abyss is barred to mere mortals like us, huh? Oh well, that's what you call a swing in Abyss. Investigate the crime scene. What do I have left to investigate then? Pretty much everything, right? I'm missing something, but what am I missing? It looks like Mr. Hat is rigged this smaller pulley. Let's see. How did it go? After being blown to a kiss, Mr. Hat goes wild then. Just as he's about to stab the coffin, he gets pulled up to the catwalk. And the smoke screen was to hide his ascent from the audience's view. Well, I think that about does it for the catwalk. Do you think we missed anything? Nope, didn't miss a single thing. We're all done here, yes sirree. I take it you're ready to go down. Yeah, I think we better. Feel a fainting spell coming on. Oh brother, you don't need me to hold your hand again, do you? All done? Pretty much. There's just one thing. The door to the understage passage was locked. Any way we can get down there? That place, they locked it up as soon as police finished our investigation down there. If you want to check it out, you'll have to ask a magician. Well, Trucy's at the detention center, so she can't help us. I guess we'll have to look for somebody else from the show. Okay, and I better get back to my own investigation. See you around. It's too bad about the understage area, but at least we learned a few things. Yeah, like one of your greatest fears, heh. I wasn't talking about that. Meant how all the behind-the-scenes stuff is set up. Let's see. We found out that there are 2 winches backstage. Mr. Hat was rigged to the first winch. And the dragon set piece was attached to the other one. And both of them were used during the show. Right after the body was discovered, the dragon set piece fell to the stage. And the chaos that ensued. The culprit could have switched the rubber sword with the real one. So it looks like the best way to prove Trucy's innocence is to identify the real killer. What a complete and utter mess. This is all great, just great. That right kid is a bush league. Small potatoes, a half-grown has-been. There's somebody on the stage. I wonder who it is and what they're doing. Maybe we should go talk to them. Excuse me, are you connected to the show? What? You two got a couple more headaches for me to handle? I got my hands full as it is. Hey, I remember this guy. Hey, you there. What the heck's going on? They wouldn't even let me in. Me for crying out loud. Oh, Mr. Retinz, there was an accident during the show. An accident? Great, just great. That's all I need right now. Do you have any idea how much money we're sinking in this program? Yeah, I'm just trying to do a more thicker New York accent, I guess that's kind of what I would a director like this, I think, like, kind of his accent would kind of be like that. It's that man who was going off with the staff in front of the theater. I ain't never seen you guys before. If I had to guess, I'd say you're not production staff. Huh? What's that I spy with my little eye? An attorney's badge. Well, how do you do? I didn't know you fine folks were lawyers. Yeah, that's it. He's scared of lawsuits, I called it. My business card, if you would. Charmed to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. Oh, thank you. So you're from the TV station, I take it? Sharp as a tack you are. I'm the producer of this TV special. All my idea, by the way. I'm Apollo Justice, Trucy Wright's defense attorney. Trucy writes. Well, ain't that a kick in the head? How about you open with the tidbit next time, champ? Okay. What happened to this Smoogie Magoo bit? I'm Roger Retinz. Hold the applause and no autographs, kids. I'm on the clock. Apollo, this guy looks, really familiar, but I can't quite... Really, kid? Then try this on for size. Hang loose, baby. Hang loose, baby? Gasp! Apollo, it's the ratings Raja from Take-Two TV. He's huge, crazy huge, like a real famous producer. Really? I've never heard of him. Seriously, man? What kind of cave did you crawl out of? Roger Retinz, the ratings Raja, titan of the TV screen. Still not ringing a bell? You ain't seen my hit Saturday night talk show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central? No. I can't say that I have. You're blowing my mind, kid. You even know what a TV is? Say it with me. Television. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about the incident? No. What kind of comeback is that? Grow some backbone, kid. I basically lobbed that one at you. Now hit me with your best barb. Viewers will love that. Come on, you gotta sell it. Sell what? Say something funny for the nice people at home. Go on, hit me with your best shot. My best shot? We're rolling here. Hurry up before they change the channel. Chop, chop. Okay. Here goes. Talk to the hand. Kapow. Kapow? Really? And why are you pointing all dramatically like we're in court? I don't know. I just seemed like the thing to do. Haha. Haha. Heh. Apollo. Oof. That's going in the cringe reel for sure. That's the second time I've heard him ever say cringe in, Ace Attorney. I think we can all agree that was a mistake. If I choked any harder, I'd need the Heimlich maneuver. I blame myself, really. Should have known better than to waste good film on a nobody. So you wanted an exclusive or what? Roger Retinz. Today's magic show is being broadcast live on TV, wasn't it? And you were the producer, right? That's right. Rising Magic Star versus Old School Gramarye. It was gonna be wild. We were gonna have viewers vote for their favorite magician during the show. And the loser would have had a really embarrassing prank done to them. It was gold, I tell you. Guaranteed ratings. I don't know, it sounds kind of tacky if you ask me. I'm telling you, man, modern viewers eat this stuff up with a spoon, trust me. All we gotta do is serve it up nice and hot, a feast for the eyes. More like junk food for the brain. But that little brat had to go and ruin everything with that accident of hers. You have any idea how many times they dragged me over here to prepare for today? He must know this theater pretty well if he came by that often. Oh, that gives me an idea. How about this? Mindscape of magical murderess. Closet, comrades, come clean. Tell me, has Trucy always shown signs of being unhinged? When could you tell she was about ready to snap? Give me the lowdown. This guy's cruising for a bruising, Apollo. As long as you don't get caught on camera. Truth be told, I'm not surprised with the way things turned out. Magicians are pretty much the dregs of society, am I right? What's that supposed to mean? What were you doing at the time of the incident? Shooting a show in the station studio. We had a whole bunch of girls in bikinis wrestle each other for the camera. So you didn't see the accident as it actually happened. So great, so this guy is greedy and he's also a pervert. That's right. That's why I was shocked when I first got here. So he didn't hear about the accident until he arrived, huh? I'm guessing what you really want to know is whether or not I'll have an alibi, am I right? My staff at the TV studio can vouch for me. Why not go there and ask them yourself? You can give them my card and they'll let you in. Okay, and what I'll say about this guy is, already I don't trust this guy. I don't at all. Because he was already telling me his alibi before I even fully asked him about it. Let me just see here. Let me see, let me see here. Apollo did ask him what he was doing at the time of the incident, but then he started talking on his alibi, and so that's like, I'm sorry, this was a little I was reading a little too quickly, but basically is, I don't like it, how he just brought up his alibi like that, I just don't. So you have an alibi, huh? Good to know. Magicians are all a bunch of good-for-nothings, if you ask me. Con artists and thieves is what they are. They trick people and take their money. Well, isn't that what you do? Coming from you, that's rich, pal. Magic tricks aren't the same as con jobs, you know. That's right. The people watching never feel like they've been cheated. Lawyers spout hypocritical nonsense. Big surprise there, lol. And post. Did he just post about us in real time? Those Grammarys are all criminals. It's in their blood. Trucy writes ain't no different. That girl's no good. She may look all sweet and innocent, but she's a stone-cold killer. Don't you dare talk about Trucy like that. You don't know the first thing about her. You won't find a sweeter, harder-working girl anywhere, period. She's got the wool pulled over your eyes, I see. What in the world are you talking about? You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind the sweet smile. I'll prove those Grammarly magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes. Does he have a grudge against Trucy? Or maybe against all of true Grammarly? TV is a window to the truth. It's not like that magic stuff, or the streetwise charlatans that perform it. It's a shame. A crying shame, I tell you. What was supposed to be a fun, light-hearted program turned into a sorry affair. I'll have to sell it to the news outlets all over the world if I'm gonna make my money back. Trucy Wright will make her debut alright, not as a magician, but as a criminal. What? It's my duty to report it. Can't let a tragedy like this happen again, now can I? Even if she gets off somehow, I'll make sure she never walks the streets again. We won't let that happen. We won't let you do that to her. We're going to prove her innocence in court. Listen to you, acting all high and mighty. You're just another money grubber. I know how you lawyers do things. You'll stop at nothing to win. I beg your pardon? If you win your trials, you'll get back stacks, right? Is money really all you care about? How ironic is that some guy's like waving around cash like that? What's with him, Apollo? Why won't he listen? But enough about you. I'm all about going after Trucy now. I won't stop until she's behind bars. That's how we in the media dish out justice. Before you even get to court, my expose is gonna take you down. Not if I have anything to say about it. Well, gotta get back to the station. Hang loose, baby. Did you guys like my accent for him? That's literally, whenever I'm playing through this series, I'm trying to, like, create accents for, like, the characters, how I think they would sound. So that's how I would imagine he would sound. Like, kind of like, I was trying to do, like, that kind of, like, New York, like, kind of like that more heavier New York accent for him. It looks like the prosecution won't be our only opponent this time. But no way are we gonna let that guy have his way either. That's right. Okay, we're done with this stage, so let's go someplace, else. I still wish we could check out that understage passage. But what else can we investigate right now? I guess maybe go to the dressing room? We might meet somebody there. Oh, April 27th. Penrose Theater. Dressing room. About all that's left to check out is that understage passage. We'll have to try to get one of the staff members to unlock the door. Somebody just came into the dressing room. Oh, it's you people again. You came back. Huh? I don't trust her. I saw you, you know. Oh, it's you? The bunny assistant from the show, right? I don't trust her because she was on stage at the time the thing happened. She had plenty of time to rig evidence. What? Oh, yes, that's right. My name is Bonny the Fame. I remember her talking to us earlier. Performing magic is like, walking a tightrope. There's always an element of danger. One little mistake can even cost you your life, you know? I wonder if she'll make it across today. And what do you mean by that exactly? Heh oh, nothing. Now, if you'll excuse me. You said some pretty strange things then. I saw, you take it. You took something from our dressing room. Oh, Bonnie, that teleportation trick you did was amazing. Fantastic. What? Oh, thank you. But what you did. Stealing is... What other kinds of magic tricks can you do? She's keeping her from talking about it. That's basically what she's doing. Me? Oh, well, how about this? Splendido. Tina, I think Bonnie's trying to say something to us. She is. Thank you, Mr. Thief. Thief. I saw you take that notebook. Please don't take things from our dressing room. Huh? So it's true what they say. Thieves really do return to the scene of the crime, don't they? Thieves. Thought it was just arsonists in real life. Guess that means he really saw us, huh? And basically what Apollo means by that is, and there's a scene in LA Noire later that I'm gonna talk about, but basically arsonists are basically people who intentionally set fires. And there's basically two types of arsonists, really. The arsonists that are basically scammers and thieves, like where they're trying to like pull some kind of insurance fraud, or they're trying to burn a property down to get back at somebody. And then there's a second type of arsonist, the crazy ones that just basically like fire. And those guys actually return to the scene of the crime a lot of times. So basically, police watch the crowd very carefully when people show up after a fire's been put out, because arsonists, the people who are crazy about doing fires, they come back to the scene of the crime because they want to see it being put out and basically see people's reaction to it. There's people that are that crazy. I bet this looks pretty bad. If you return what you stole right now, I won't call the police. Oh boy. You've got it all wrong. We're Trucy's lawyers. She asked us to bring the notebook to her. Through Trucy's lawyers? Oh, I'm so sorry I called you thieves. If you really thought we were thieves, why were you still doing magic tricks for us? I can't help it. Whenever anybody asks, I just can't bring myself to refuse. Does that mean she's a real people person, or that she aims to please a little too hard? In that case, can you tell us the secret to your teleportation trick? Well, I don't know if I should. Oh. If I keep up the pressure, she might tell us. I've been dying to know. Yeah, honestly, after the Fulbright incident, 2 cases ago, I'm not trusting any Ace Attorney character ever again. Even if they're the most sweetest, innocent-looking character, I'm not trusting any character ever again in the Ace Attorney game after the Fulbright, scenario. Leave the poor girl alone. Are you investigating the case? Yes, that's right. I'm Trucy's biggest fan. I just love her to bits. I'll do anything to help her. We appreciate that. In that case, would you mind if we asked you a few questions? Bonnie. You're a magician, right, Bonnie? That's right. My specialties are teleportation and this little trick right here. Looks like Mr. Bunny's in a bad mood right now. Or that she messed up. You said you were a big fan of Trucy's, right? Oh yes, I look up to her more than anyone else in the whole world. What about her makes you respect her so much? She's incredible. Not only is she incredibly talented, but she's so cool under pressure and always manages to keep a smile on her face. In spite of all that talent, she still works harder than anybody I know. You couldn't ask for more out of a magician. I'm sensing a shift into hyper fangirl drive. I love the unique way she does her tricks, and how she charms the audience. I especially love her magic panties trick, which is both cute and comical. The first time I started doing that trick, I was so impressed and so moved. I've gone to her shows to see her perform so many times. Okay, yeah, she talks so... I wasn't fast-forwarding that, by the way. She was actually talking that fast. And that's why I think Trucy is top class. A real first-rate magician. I see. I think we have a pretty good idea how much you adore her now. Oh, was I talking too much? I'm so sorry. I better be careful about when and how I ask her about Trucy. Yeah, that's my problem too. I talk too much sometimes. That's a problem of mine too. Anyway, that's why I'll do anything at all to help Trucy. Oh, Mr. Lawyer, you just have to prove her innocence. Don't worry, I plan to do just that. I wish Trucy could see that she has people like Bonny in her corner rooting for her. Yeah, I don't know if I fully trust Bonny though. You have to remember that, Attila, remember her? She basically hired you to defend, Waki Kitaki, and she was the one who did it, the murder. The show. You were in the magic show, right? That's right. I take it, Erlita was her name, not Attila. I take it you saw my teleportation trick. Yes, it was just wonderful. You moved from one place to another in the blink of an eye. I admit it was pretty amazing. I have no idea how you transported yourself for such a distance in just a split second. It must be so fun to be able to do a trick like that. Teleportation looks so cool. It's like a superpower or something. Yeah, my trick is turning some heads in the magic world right now. They're calling it a new miraculous magic. Some even say it's a real deal. Real magic, huh? I know there must be an explanation, but sure does look real. I just have to figure that trick out. I want to do it myself. Oh, you'll never figure it out. I always perform it perfectly. Oh? Right there, lie. Huh? Ah. This feeling. Looks to me like Bonnie's hiding something. I guarantee you the word is perfectly when she says perfectly. It's probably imperfectly. That's probably when it's, Oh, you'll never figure it out. I always perform it perfectly. Perfectly is probably the key word. That's probably what it is. Look at her face. See if she... There was nothing wrong with her face there. Look at her fingers. Fingers and face are oftentimes where you see it, like, that there's like a twitch or something. Nothing here, okay. It's somewhere else. Probably up here. He's touching your hat, that's probably what it's gonna be. Whoa, whoa. That's creepy.
Gotcha!
Ah! Why are you yelling at me? Huh? Oh, I just thought you looked a bit flustered, that's all. Well, anybody would get flustered if you shouting at them like that. Any more of that? And I'll bend those horns of yours like a spoon. Hands off. Do you have any idea how, early I have to wake, up to get these just right? Perceive. I had it right there. I always perform it perfectly.
Gotcha!
Bonnie, when you said perform it perfectly, your right hand would tremble and move your hat a tiny bit. I even caught a glimpse of that little rabbit hiding underneath. Did you really perform the teleportation trick perfectly this time? Of course, I definitely got that part right. What do you mean, that part? Oops. Wait a minute. Are you saying that you... messed up Trucy's escape because Trucy was the one who was handling the swords, right? You might have performed the teleportation trick flawlessly, but what about Trucy's escape trick after that? Did you make some kind of mistake during that? Oh, well... Well, did you? You see? Did you or didn't you? Eep. I did. You're absolutely right, Mr. Lawyer. I made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. I'm sorry I lied. Ooh, I feel like I pulled off a magic trick of my own just trying to get that out of her. The show. So you made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. Yes, I was in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see. But I made a huge goof. So, did Trucy explain to you how the escape trick works? Yes, she knew we'd need to know for our investigation, so she shared the secret. Let's see. After Trucy's escape from the coffin down into the understage passage, Mr. Hat was to be pulled up to the catwalk by a winch. Trucy would then pop up on the stage through a trapdoor. I was operating Mr. Hat at the time, but I flubbed up where I was supposed to have him stand. I was supposed to make Mr. Hat stand to the left of the coffin, but I messed up and had him stand to the right by accident. That matches up with what we saw during the show. Huh? But then doesn't that mean Trucy would have ended up popping up on the side opposite to Mr. Hat? Yes, she would have if she hadn't done some quick thinking on her feet. She managed to pop up on the right-hand side of the coffin for me, so the audience never even knew a mistake had been made. Way to go, Trucy. My mistake caused her so much trouble. I think I'd better ask Trucy about this later, too. By the way, we'd like to investigate the understage passage. Would that be alright? Oh yes, by all means. Anything to help prove Trucy's innocence. I'll unlock it for you. Hey, there you are. You got a minute? Oh, Mr. Retinz, yes, of course. Not you, Bunny. The lawyers. They're the ones I want to see. You have business with us? I hear you two are from the same agency as Trucy. Is that true? Yes, that's right. This is for you, then. Can't hang loose, baby. A contract between Take-Two TV, the first party, and Trucy, right, the second party? Is this what she signed? If through the fault of the second party, the show must be cancelled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party? What? The $3 million? Yeah, that's more like it. That shocked reaction, that dopey expression. Literally scummy director. Is scummy, greedy director. You'd make a great comedian. Really? I know. I'll put you on my show. We'll get one of those cartoon anvils to fall on your head. Wait a minute. Is this for one of those hidden camera prank shows? You wish. That's an official contract. See for yourselves. You're the lawyers, after all. You should know one when you see one, right? He's right. It's all signed and everything. The undersigned understand and agree to the terms and conditions outlined above. You better make sure your agency pays what Trucy owes me in full. Are you kidding me? The right anything agency doesn't have that kind of money. Then I guess you're gonna have to go fishing for some. I can see it now. Craziest catch. Legend of the seasick lawyers. Fishing on the high seas. No thanks. I can't even swim. Objection. What kind of ridiculous, low-down, unfair, one-sided contract is this? Hey now, there's nothing ridiculous here. It's all perfectly legit. It's got her signature on it, see? My boys have gotta see the stupid look on your faces. It's priceless. And post. I'm getting responses already. It's gonna go viral. No! How could he? Bye-bye, reputation. Contract signed by Trucy herself. It details liability for compensation. You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. A producer at Take-Two TV. Literally, it's like, this is ridiculous too. Take-Two TV. Honestly, he could get sued by Take-Two themselves. Let's read this contract. Performance contract. The first party will pay all expenses for the magic show. The second party will confer all program broadcasting rights to the first party. If through the fault of the second party, the show must be cancelled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party. The thing is, this sounds like a motive to me right here. He's trying to get $3 million of the Trucy. That's pretty. This honestly sounds like a motive. If he created the conditions for the murder, if he had something to do with it, and the show got canceled, this is a motive right here for murder. This is pretty much it. $3 million contract, and the thing about this is, here's the reality is, contracts are not absolute. That's the thing about them. They're absolute to a degree. if something happened, like, there are contracts that exist like this, that if, like, that basically, if, like, there's somebody who pays for the show, sets up the show, and if the people responsible for the show cancel, then that person is owed money. You know, so there are contracts like this, but the thing about this is something absolutely unforeseen. Like, it says, if through the fault of the second party, but here's the thing is, if Trucy is proven innocent, this contract is void if she's proven innocent, because she has no fault in it. And so something like a murder happening, that's something that's completely out of control of the second party. And so this contract would not be void. And also, this contract would be void. Like, and also something, if there was, a contract like this would only be acceptable if it was their fault directly. Like, if they wanted to cancel, if they were responsible for something going wrong with the show, if there was some kind of negligence, which I guess that's what he's probably going to try to argue, that there was negligence on that there was a murder, there was an accident at the show. That's probably what he's going to probably try to argue. But if there is no, like, intent, if just something happened out of the, you know, out of the blue, you know, something just ridiculous happened that the second party had nothing to do with, then a contract like this is not really acceptable. So yeah, yeah, that's what I'll say. And also, here's the thing about this, is, when amusement parks actually make you sign, like, waivers when you go into amusement parks, that if you get hurt, that you are, you're not responsible for the damages, that the amusement park isn't responsible for the damages. The thing about that is that contract is only applicable to a certain degree. It's only applicable if you show negligence. So basically, if you are doing something stupid with the ride, if you are, like, you know, if you're, like, moving your head around or something like that, like you're not standing still and you bang your head on something like that, then the amusement park is not really, if you're just, you know, doing dumb things, the amusement park is not responsible for injuries. However, though, if you're riding, like, a roller coaster, and, you know, the roller coaster, like, you know, falls off, and you somehow survive that, or if, like, your seatbelt snaps during that contract is not, that agreement, that waiver that you signed is void. It doesn't apply, because the amusement park is supposed to guarantee your safety when you get on the ride. If you follow all the safety procedures, the amusement park is supposed to actually keep you safe. So contracts like that and waivers like that are not necessarily always applicable. I'm gonna drive Troop Gramarye and everybody associated with it into the ground. Serves you right for getting involved with the Gramaryes. What's this grudge you have against the Gramaryes, anyway? Huh? What are you talking about? Stress is making you paranoid, champ. Come on, Bonnie. We have more filming to do. Oh, yes, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Lawyer. Oh, and I'll unlock the door to the understage passage for you later. Later, lawyers. Hang loose, baby. Why would Trucy sign a contract like this? Well, because she probably was she either signed something else and he forged her signature, or she was confident that nothing would go wrong with the show. And why did all this have to happen when Mr. Wright isn't here? We'll have to come back for the understage later. Let's go hear Trucy's side of the story. Good thinking. We can't let you hit the high seas just yet. There must be something we can do. We can't let this ratings Raja get his way. April 27th, Detention Center. Visitors, room. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Wow, now you made my handcuffs disappear. How did you do that? He's doing magic tricks for the guard. Now should I try making you disappear next, Mr. Guard? Can you do that? Oh yes, please. This is so exciting. We should probably stop her before there's another incident. Trucy. Oh, hi, Polly, Athena. Well, have some more questions for you. Judging by the look on your faces, it must be about something big. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Things have gotten a little sticky. Oh, and I have to remember to give her that thing she asked for, too. The contract. Trucy, do you remember this contract? Yes, I signed it before I went on stage. What about this liability for compensation article here? Liability for compensation? What are you talking about? Let me see that. What? $3 million. Just as I suspected, she didn't know about this part. I've never seen this article. And I read the whole contract from top to bottom. She was lied to. Her signature was forged. Yeah, I didn't think you'd miss such a big fade. But there's your signature, so what's going on? Maybe there was some kind of trick involved. You know, like when I signed it. In other words, you think there might be some foul play afoot. And I'm willing to bet that Retinz Raja is the one behind it. Bonny's mistake. Bonny told us about the mistake she made on stage. Oh, you mean, with where Mr. Hat had been placed. Even, I was at a loss about what to do for a second there. So how did you fix the problem? Well, I was down in the understage passage when I found out. I had to work my butt off to fix it, let me tell you. After I escaped from the coffin and went down into the understage passage, I got a signal from Bonny saying she'd made a mistake with Mr. Hat's positioning. No joke, I was freaking out. After all, I had to be back up on stage in a few short minutes. Magical girl Trucy was faced with an unprecedented crisis beneath the stage. Would this spell the end of Trucy in the Grammarly land? And then what happened? Fina's totally hooked. I was supposed to get back up to the stage through trapdoor 1 on the left. Using a platform that can be raised and lowered called a stage lift. There was a stage lift ready and waiting in the lowered position under trapdoor 1. Mr. Hat had been placed on the right, above trapdoor 2 by mistake. There was already another stage lift under trapdoor 2, but it was in the raised position since we hadn't planned on using it. Okay, so how did you get back up onto the stage? Why, through brute strength. I couldn't lower stage lift 2 by myself, so I pushed it back and out of the way. Then I moved the lowered stage lift 1 into place under trapdoor 2. This thing is heavy. I wish I could have moved it with my magic. Unfortunately, my magic is useless under the stage. The understage is a dark abyss that drains magicians of all their powers. I can see why it's called the Abyss. I never knew it could take so much out of you. That's just how it goes in the real world. Illusions are created by the blood, sweat, and tears of those behind the scenes. Wow, I learned so much just now. Trucy, have you told anybody else about all this? Nope, nobody. Sounds like some critical information. I better make a note of it. Trucy moved the stage list to cover for Bonny's mistake. She told no one about this. Music is pretty creepy too in this case. Bonny messed up Mr. Hat's position for the escape trick, placing him opposite the scripted location on the right side. As a result, Trucy had to quickly move the lifts under the stage. She never told anyone that she had moved the stage lifts. So this is critical because the killer is going to know this. The killer is going to know this, that she moved it. Because if the killer moved the body to that coffin, the killer is going to know about this, that Trucy also moved the, Trucy moved the lifts. This is going to be important. And also, I wonder if Bonny made that mistake on purpose. That's the thing, because she lied that she did it perfectly, but we don't know if she did it on purpose, or the mistake was on purpose. That's the thing is. Return a notebook to Trucy. Present. Here you go, Trucy. Here's your notebook back. Oh, great. Thank you very much. So what's written in there anyway? It looks like it's full of secrets or something. That's because it is. It was originally my granddaddy Magnifi Grammary's notebook. He used it like a diary, and as a place to jot down ideas for new magic tricks. Some of which only members of Troop Grammary have ever laid eyes on. Wow. This notebook is a really big deal then. Yes, that's why it's always kept under lock and key. I bet a magician would do just about anything to get their hands on that notebook. And we found it mixed in with Mr. Roos's belongings. Yeah. Would he really have been trying to steal it? The Troop Grammary creed is also written inside. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. That creed was passed down to me from my daddy, as his daddy passed it down to him. It's true that Trucy always keeps a smile on her face. I guess it's due in part to her family creed. The Troop Grammary creed, a true entertainer always keeps a smile in their face, written inside. Trucy, I want to talk to you about where we found this notebook. We found this notebook mixed in with Mr. Roos's belongings. What? Do you think he might have been trying to steal it? No way. I can't believe it. The great Mr. Roos would never do such a thing. Well, you don't know that, but would it be so far-fetched if he was after True Gremory's secret tricks? Remember that he took a break from magic for like 13 years and he came back. Maybe he had a motive. It makes for a pretty compelling motive to take the notebook. In any case, we better focus on doing something about this contract for now. Trucy signed it in her dressing room, right? And we better do a little bit more investigating there. I'm so sorry to put the two of you through all of this. Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. There's gotta be some kind of mistake. If you need me to, I'm willing to take drastic measures. With my magic! You're not planning on pulling some magical money out of there, are you? No, magic pennies are much better at making things disappear than appear. Do I want to know what she's planning to make disappear? Apollo, we have to do something, anything, to fix this. I agree. Let's check out the dressing room again for starters. Okay, and we should finally check out that understage passage too. The abyss. Then you'll have to go through the backstage area. Be careful down there. Can I present her with anything? I wonder if I can ask her about this bucket. Are you saying you want me to conjure up a copy or two of this? Absolutely not. Forged evidence is gonna help us in court. It'll be fine. With my magic, I'll make sure the audience can't see the strings attached. Not the audience, but the discerning eyes of the law I'm worried about. Okay, April 27th, Penrose Theater. Stage. Let's see. We should be able to get to the understage passage from backstage. Hopefully, Bonny unlocked the door for us like she said she would. Back to the backstage. The door's unlocked. Thank you, Bonny. Well, Athena, here we go. Let's check it. Let's see what's down here. Penrose Theater. Understage. I'm sure it sure is dark and dusty down here. The Abyss. The magical underworld. And look, there's a denizen of the Abyss now. Fearsome beast with long, sharp fangs, ready to prey on unsuspecting souls. Huh? What are you... Oh, you mean that tiny little rat over there. No, I mean that fearsome beast over there. I take it you don't like rodents. Okay. What is this? I'm curious. This is the first thing I saw when I came in here. I'm gonna make it big someday. Just you wait and see. What's this all about? My guess is... it's the soulful cry of some poor assistant made to toil here in the darkness. And who would know about the soulful cry of a bitter assistant better than you, right? You really understand the writer's feelings of despair and frustration. Sadly, yes. Yes, I do. You really shouldn't scribble on the walls, you know, Apollo. It wasn't me. The sword. This sword is the exact same design as the murder weapon. Is this the rubber one? Wait. What's this? Yeah. Ow. What are you doing? That hurts. I think I'm bleeding out. Oh, stop being such a drama queen. It's only rubber. Huh. Hey, you're right. So this must be the sword Trucy used during the trick. After the incident, someone must have switched his rubber sword with the real one on stage. Maybe, that's, when they brought the rubber sword here. Sword stand. Contains rubber sword Trucy says he wrapped it for the trick. What's this? Look at all these props. Hey, there's something in this hat. A dove? Cards? A juice box and some snacks. Looks like somebody planned to have a little treat in the middle of the show. Trucy moved these. What's this X here, too? It's a stage lift for getting up to the stage. It looks like this crank lowers the platform. But Trucy said it's impossible for one person to do it alone. That sounds like a challenge. Now I want to try it. Brrr. Grah! Huff, huff, huff. Haha, it's probably just broken. Or you could just take people at their word. If I'm reading this room right, this must be the stage lift Trucy moved during the show. Originally, it was there where stage lift 1 is now. Stage lift Trucy had to move out of the way during the show, since it was already all the way up. Stage lift 1. It's a stage lift for getting up to the stage. Trucy moved this one here. I guess it used to be where that yellow tape is. How in the world did she manage to move this huge thing? It couldn't have been easy for her. She's pretty petite. But I bet it'd be easy for you. Just what are you implying? That's it, chump. You're looking up microaggressions later. What's this? What's this glowy stuff? Oh, it's glow-in-the-dark tape. Hey, this must be what I saw through that secret door in the bottom of the coffin. But who put it, here and why? Probably a marker of some sort, since it's so dark down here. Sounds about right. Maybe it's meant to mark which ladder to climb. This ladder goes up to the ceiling, so I guess it leads to one of the trap doors on stage. Trucy must have used this ladder when she escaped from the coffin. Why don't you climb up there and see if I'm correct? Not so high. You'll be fine, right? Huh? Why me? You make a young lady wearing a skirt, climb a ladder? Fine, I'm going. Ah, the lights! Burns! Ow! Are you alright? I can now confirm that the ladder does indeed lead up to the stage. Well, that tasty bit of info is definitely worth risking life and limb over. Well done. Hold on, Apollo. I hear voices. Quick, hide. Huh? Ow. Quit shoving. Hurry up and get down there. Yow, my arm doesn't bend that way. What the heck, Athena? Shh. Look. It's so much work pretending to be a cute and sweet. Isn't that Bonny? Hey, Bunny, wait for me. And the ratings, Raja. What did we have to hide for, Athena? Because I heard something funny. There was something off in their voices. Oh, right. Athena's a super sensitive hearing. Those lawyers are poking around, trying to stir up trouble. I knew it. I didn't trust her. Should I be worried? Relax. I didn't say anything to the police, and I won't say anything to them either. You better not, or you're gonna get it. Pow, right in the kisser. Yeah, so Bonny is actually a pretty bad person. I knew it. What the? Is it just me or does Bonny seem kind of different from before? Apollo, shh. I'm sick and tired of this whole investigation. All I want is Trucy's head on a platter. Leave everything to me, babe. Don't forget the power of mass media. TV can accomplish anything. I'll make sure Trucy gets much worse than a guilty verdict. I can't wait to see that girl crying and begging for mercy. You really hate Trucy, don't you, Bunny? I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy, right? Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that? So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves. Hey, what the heck? If you mess this up, you're gonna be really sorry, you hear me? I'll crush you flat. Like a cockroach under my foot. Oh, you cute, whittle thing. You're so adorable when you're throwing a fit. Ow, ow, my foot. Can't you take a joke? Come on, grab my things. We're leaving. Ah, lead hippity-hopping away, my little bun-bun. So it looks like they're in a relationship, and literally they're plotting against Trucy. But who's the killer? What was that absolutely revolting scene all about? I guess the entertainment industry attracts all kinds of eccentrics. That conversation. It set off every red flag in the book. You said it, I smell plot with a capital P-U. Retinz claims he was at the TV station at the time of the incident. And we saw Bonny on stage ourselves. Hey Apollo, I have an idea. Why don't we pay Take-Two TV a visit? We can check up on the ratings for Ja Alibi while we're there. Sounds like a plan. The music is like kicking in now too. Trying to get to the bottom of this. April 27, Magical Murder, exclusive unedited footage. Trucy, right? What? Scandal Gambit, Take-Two TV studio. Yikes, look at this place. There's so much going on at once, it makes my head spin. Take a look at that screen. And listen to those hosts. Magical Murder, a live audience witnesses shocking skewering. 17-year-old magician, Trucy Wright. The exclusive unedited footage of the heinous crime, complete and uncut. We can't let them broadcast that. Trucy will get tried in court of public opinion. Well, I doubt we can stop them from airing it. But we can prove her innocence in a real court of law. No matter what garbage you report on TV, we can set the record straight at the trial. Pardon me, I know you're busy right now. What are you guys, street? Street? Does that mean people of the street or something? We're Trucy Wright's lawyers. Oh, okay, lawyers, got it. Well, what do you want? He must be really busy. What do you want? That is a lot of people in New York actually say that too, so I was actually right that, that Retinz would probably have a New York accent. We're investigating the incident that occurred at the magic show this morning. And we heard that Roger Retinz, was in charge of that program. Roger Retinz. I wonder, is there a hidden meaning behind his name? Because a lot of the characters, their names usually imply something. Roger Retinz. Roger Retinz. I'm thinking, if that means anything. Let me know if that name means anything. Yeah, that show's, right. That guy hates magic, but the show was all his idea. Just between you and me, I think it was Bonny that egged him on. Egged him on? How so? Saw the two of them together, you know, walking along arm in arm. Bet she sweet-talked him into doing the program because she wanted to work. She hasn't been selling very well on her own, apparently. See. Oh, hey, if you're looking into the incident, I guess you'd want the show footage, right? It's on the disc in my back pocket. If you want to go ahead and fish it out. Wow, thank you very much. It turned out to be surprisingly helpful. A disc or record of Trucy's escape trick on it. Find proof that Trucy's signature was forged. This is that, okay. Pretty much seen this. I wonder what that guy sitting down there is doing. Looks like he's reading that script he's holding. What? Are you serious? Those two are gonna break up? What? And the series is going on hiatus because the cartoonist is sick? No way. Think he's reading a comic book. He's hiding the script. If you're gonna go off on set, that's a pretty bold way to do it. Excuse me. We're looking into the incident that happened at the magic show this morning. Oh, that? Yeah, I was the cameraman for that. Can you tell us anything about what you saw? Bonny was super adorbs. That's not exactly what I couldn't get enough of her. I filmed her the whole time. Got some primal footage, if I do say so myself. Better quit before he decides to share what he intends to do with said footage. This must be a video production workstation of some sort. That coffee cup looks awfully familiar. Yeah, that's where Mr. Retinz always sits. He's very hands-on, you know. You'll always find him on the set of his projects. But he was here at the station during the magic show, right? Yeah, well, he had 2 shows going on at once this morning. He had his regular program to oversee here, so he couldn't be at the Penrose. So you can vouch for him that he was, here at the station during the magic show. What, like an alibi? Sure can. He was definitely here. Still, after a while, he couldn't stand being away from the Penrose, it seems. As soon as his part was over, he took a taxi to the theater. But he apparently didn't get there until after that thing had already occurred. Sounds like he has a rock-solid alibi. Well, I guess we got just about everything we can out of this place. It looks like the Retinz alibi is pretty airtight. But if that's true, then who could have killed Mr. Roos? Bonny, possibly. Find proof that Trucy's signature was forged. The dressing room. This is where she signed it. Penrose Theater. Dressing room. Okay, this is where Trucy signed that contract. Right. And there must have been some kind of trick that was used when she signed it. The question is, what kind of trick and how was it done? Some kind of object or tool is used. There still may be a trace of it somewhere. Like with the pen or the paper. Well, it's time to find the secret to that trick. Gents, let's do this. Also, another thing I'll say about this, if somebody is signing a contract like that, like something like that big, that like $3 million to be paid off, you're gonna need another witness. Like, you're gonna need a neutral third party to be like during that, like a bank or a lawyer, you know, some like neutral third party. You're not just gonna have 2 people sign it and it's gonna be that person's word. That's their signature. Okay, we're looking for some proof that that the signature was forged. Oh, this. The clipboard, right. Huh. Hey, take a look at this clipboard. Could you sign this, please, ma'am? Sure thing. Just the one sheet in this clipboard, right? Isn't this the clipboard Trucy used when she signed the contract? I think you're right. Let's give it the once over. Let's try opening the folder. This part here holds papers in place. Could this clip have something to do with how they conned her? Ow, it bit me. Here's what I think they did. They might have had an extra paper underneath it, like kind of like bank checks. Like, you ever notice like when you write out bank checks, that there's like that extra copy for you right underneath it, and so when you sign it, that second paper underneath gets signed? That basically might be how they tricked her. Only you could get hurt by a clipboard, Athena. This screw won't budge. I don't think even your crazy strength could budge it. Crazy strength? What kind of thing is that to say to a delicate young lady? I don't see you denying it either. It's just a screw. That observation won't get you any laughs. What? Do I have to make with the funny all the time? This screw is different, look. This screw is different, look. Yeah, this screw is different. Hey, this screw, it's different from the others. Not only that, but I think it's loose. Look, I can move it. Are you sure you should be fooling with it like that, Apollo? Whoa, it came right out. See? I tried to tell you, but would you listen? No! Hey, take a look through this hole, Athena. I think there's something back there. Oh wow, you're right. What is it? Hey look, the back panel is loose. I think I can take it off. Got it. You're just breaking things left and right today, aren't you? Look, there's something inside. What is this black sheet of, I want to say, paper? Oh, I know. It's a carbon paper. You put it between 2 pieces of paper and it copies what you write onto the bottom one. When Trucy signed the contract, there was actually another contract underneath. And her signature on the top contract got copied in the hidden contract, yep. And literally is, when when Apollo is done with Retinz after this part, Retinz is not gonna have a studio left at this point. Is literally, he tried to extort her for $3 million. Trucy is gonna be a millionaire after this, and Trucy is gonna be literally have way more than $3 million. Is literally, he is going, like, Apollo's gonna take that entire studio from Retinz. Like, literally, he's gonna have to pay out millions and millions for this right now. So Trucy's gonna be a millionaire after Apollo's done with Retinz. So that's how Trucy was conned. This is that ratings Raja's doing. I just know it. How dare he? You gotta hand it to him, though. Couldn't have been easy fooling Trucy. That girl's no slouch. Yeah, but I bet we can use this clipboard as evidence if we ever have to take this to trial. The clipboard used by Trucy signed our contract. It was also instrumental in narrating Raja's dishonest dealings. Looks like we're pretty much done here. Should we go back to the office? We can get a snack and talk over our plan of attack. Sounds good to me. Pretty much going back to the office. April 27th. Write anything. Agency. What in the world? What's going on here? Repossessed. All these stickers say repossessed. They even put a repossessed sticker on the fake spaghetti. Who did this? Who's responsible for this? I'll tell you, the scummy director. Whoa now. This is a restricted area, champ. No trespassing. Oh my god. Honestly. Trespassing, but this is our office. You're the one who's trespassing. Enough with the lip, boy. Don't tell me you forgot about your debt. What are you talking about? I'm just abiding by the contract. If the agency can't pay me, I have every right to seize his property, am I right? Just like that. We haven't even had a chance to take this to trial. If you're gonna be mad, shouldn't Trucy be the one you're mad at? Well, basically what he did here is completely illegal. Even if the contract was right, he cannot seize any kind of property until it goes after trial. Once there's a contract violation, it goes to trial. And he cannot seize any kind of property until the trial is done. Look, he even put a repossessed on the grammary painting of Zach. Literally, it repossesses on everything in this office. It's... I told you, it serves you right for getting involved with those grammaries. Why, you dirty rotten... Honestly, I hate this guy so much at this point. What are you going to do with all of our stuff? Sell it, of course, every last bit of it. That's why I'm seizing everything. And I'll take this little office of yours, too. You think you can just waltz in here and do whatever you want? Indeed I do, unless you write whatever warehouse joker's got 3 million ready. Urgh. That a no then? Because I gotta recoup my money somehow. After all, the entire program went south because of Trucy. It's called liability for compensation, and this infantile agency is the liability party. Why, you black-hearted? Hey Apollo, what about the crooked clipboard? It's no good. We don't have any proof that Retinz was behind it. Darn. Well, even if we have no proof that Retinz is behind it, the contract is still going to be void. So even if there was somebody else on Retenz's behalf who did it, it's still going to be void. You're going to have to do better than that, folks. Looks like the famed Mr. Wright left behind nothing but incompetent noobs to run things. No way. He was counting on Mr. Wright to be away for this plan of his. What a two-bit fug will show him. Haha, there's a sugar. That expression is priceless. So how does it feel to lose the precious office your boss left you in charge of? Say something dumb. Urgh. Now, not to rub it in or anything, but I think you should know where you stand right now. Oh man, what now? Where we stand. Here, have a gander.
The trial of a young, up-and-coming magician, Trucy Wright, is scheduled for tomorrow. We're here, just outside the office of the suspect, hoping for an exclusive peek inside.
What? Is this live? Ah, Apollo, look, there's a sea of reporters outside. He brought the media here?
Oh, a questionable-looking pair are peeking out the window at this very moment. Our viewers at home can see for themselves their vicious, brutal expressions.
Yellow journalism at its finest. Yellow journalism is fake. It's reporting that's over-exaggerated and fake. That's what yellow journalism is. And that's the way it is. The majority of the public already thinks Trucy is guilty. They saw the whole thing happen with their own eyes during the show's live broadcast. Everybody in the country is against you. No way. No office, no allies. Are you sure you still want to represent that girl? Of course we do. We believe in her innocence. Go ahead, think what you want. It's a free country. Just know that you'll be the biggest losers in the end. In the meantime, feel free to keep on flopping around like the dying fish you are. Now then, you gotta be out of here by tomorrow. Taken in this cozy little office tonight while you still can. Hang loose, baby. Ugh. I can't believe we let Mr. Wright's office get placed under seizure. Of all the... This is just ridiculous. What the? Eek! Look out! Clear out. We don't want murderers here. Hey, if it's a fight you want, I'll take you on. Come on. Yikes. Let's get out of here before we get killed too. Huff, huff, huff. I can't believe this is happening. We have to do something to protect ourselves. And fast. It's Mr. Wright. Beep. Apollo, I got your message. How is she? Is Trucy okay? She's not crying, is she? Does she have a lawyer? Mr. Wright, it's all a giant mess. Poor Trucy. And the office. Our office. Apollo, okay. We better both take a deep breath. Wow, I see. And he's saying you have to be out by tomorrow. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I wish there was something I could have done. This is quite the mess, isn't it? Even if I left right now, I wouldn't be there in time for the trial tomorrow. I'm sorry, Apollo, but I need you to handle this for me. Of course, we can handle the defense, but the office, it's too soon to give up on that. What do you, mean? The contract only addresses Trucy's liability if she causes the show to be cancelled. So you just have to prove in court tomorrow that it wasn't Trucy's fault. Hey, you're right. So everything depends on your winning that trial tomorrow. Trucy's fate and the fate of our office. It's all riding on your shoulders, Apollo. I know. I'll be fine, right? Apollo! I've been watching you grow over these past 2 years. That's why I can say, with absolute confidence, that you'll be fine. Really. I've seen you earn victory after victory in some pretty dicey situations. And guide Athena, helping her along the way too. That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. I'm fine. Everything will be fine. You can call me anytime if you feel you need to, but I'll be fine on my own, right? Yes, I think so too. I can do this. That's the spirit. Give it your best out there, Apollo. What is it, Apollo? What are you smiling about? Who, me? It's nothing. Mr. Wright believes in me. I can't let him down. We have to win this trial, Athena. I couldn't agree more. I'll do everything in my power to help. Our opponent tomorrow. Prosecutor, Maddie, huh? Why now of all time? Still, I don't care who it is. I can't afford to let my guard down for anyone. Who on earth is this?
Oh, restless, wandering soul of the dead.
Oh, he has a very calm voice.
Prosecutor Sadmati.
Oh, that's the prosecutor.
Sorry to disturb you, but I figured I should tell you. The lead attorney's been decided. It's Apollo Justice.
Apollo Justice.
He has a very calm voice. I wonder how he is as a prosecutor. He doesn't get angry. He's not like Blackwell, who loses his temper really quick. Yeah, so we will just leave it off here, guys. Thank you guys for watching this part. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. This case is getting kind of crazy. This case is getting really interesting. So it's Bonny and Retinz, but I wonder if there's anybody else involved also in this. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.